Hey guys, what is going on? Ephemerals here. So, if I do sound a little bit different, know that I did just wake up. Literally like less than 30 minutes ago. But I hope you guys are well. And obviously I did say like, oh, it's coming early the next day. And hey, I really do like to keep my word. So, but I wanna get you guys some good content. And what's been highly requested is for me to kind of just finish this like straight up, just like finish it in like one more part. And you know what? I got time, bro. Like right now, I got time. Let's do this shit. So again, this is by CR-Volcanic. Please go check him out. Absolutely amazing content creator. Writes a lot of scripts. Makes a bunch of videos. Really cool stuff. And his points are, well, unlike mine, right? Which is because most of my points, like, sure, you can say they make sense as well, but it's mostly improvised, right? But I do obviously believe them. That's why I make said points. But really, his points are like a lot more structured due to him like having a whole script to go off of, right? So if he's saying any improvisation, it's a lot more structured. Anyhow, this is once again the insane. Oh, just started dragging my YouTube. The insane monsters of Monster Hunter Frontier G to Z apparently. Honestly, what? Hold on, is G to Z any different? I suppose there's, I don't know, Electric Boogaloo. Second version, I guess. I don't know, or either that or there's two versions. I'm not. Is G to Z two different? Are they different but the same? Like, are they both Frontier but different? But okay, well, you get what I'm asking, right? Okay. Anyhow, let's let's continue this bitch. Oh my god, 180p is doing a bit much. I wanted to actually load so you guys can see. Okay. So we left off at Yamakurai because this was some crazy shit, bro. He looks like a piece of moss. Look at him, bro. Anyway. Okay, you guys can hear. Awesome.
Yamakurai.
Here we go with some bullshit, bro. What? Dude, oh my god, he's actually, wait, whoa, oh my god. I don't know if it's the perspective, but he looks gigantic. Like, I know monsters, like, obviously are bigger than the hunters, but maybe because he's, like, very looming over the camera. Look, is he not gigantic? Holy shit. He's pretty big, doesn't he? Holy crap.
Origin species of the reclusive and rare Yamasukami. Kurai's status as origin species is a bit tentative, as it's not entirely...
Oh, they're related. Oh, I thought that was that. I thought, what the fuck? Oh, that's fascinating. Of course, it's like one of those burst species shit. Although I don't think this is considered burst species anymore because he did discuss the last of them like last video. Hold on, my fucking keyboard. Sorry. Okay.
Definite whether or not the Yamakurai fought is a close relative or just an extremely old Yamasukami. However, it bears features that some experts believe Yamasukami's ancestors had, so the label persists.
Wait, is the volume alright for you guys? Hold on. I might increase it just. Oh wait, it's good. Wait. I'm suspicious. Check the sound mixer. Volume mixer. What should be lowered? Oh my god, it's not. Okay. Why is OBS? Don't start with me, bro. Okay.
Yamakurai shares many attributes with its counterpart. A tremendous size, the ability to float perpetually, 4 massive tentacles around his body, 2 long lanky tendrils near his face, a spherical body shape, a massive amount of plant growth on his body, colonies of mutated great thunderbugs.
Ew! That's his mouth? Ew! What the fuck? I didn't think it actually had a mouth.
around him, and the most unsettling looking teeth
Yes! What the fuck? I mean, he's got those like fucking... I mean, he's got golden teeth. That's kinda cool. But at the same time, it looks like a bunch of teeth that got cut off and started rotting, bro. Oh my god, that's... Is anyone getting comfortable looking at this? What the fuck?
I think I have ever
I was gonna ask something, but I forgot. This is jarring me, bro.
seen. Aesthetically, Yamakurai has darker plants growing on him, a yellow eye instead of a red one, some brighter orange webbing between tentacles, and a different, I guess, head shape?
I did notice the, like, slight webbing, the orange thingy thing. I thought they were just the same.
It's a little bit less round than Yamasukami's.
Yeah, sure.
His plant life is also a bit larger and a bit more plentiful. I'd say the greatest difference between the two is the fact that Yamakurai is a normal fight on a normal map, not a scripted static battle atop a tower like Yamatsukami. Kurai appears in the Highlands, which works due to the large, wide open arenas on that map. This immediately improves the encounter as Yamakurai is simply allowed to do way more stuff. And
okay, I remember my question. Does anyone got an explanation for why this literal thing can just, like, float about? Like, we're not underwater, unless I might be mistaken, or either... I'm assuming we're in rain right now, which I'm sure we are? Are we... Because, you get... How is bro floating?
way more stuff he does indeed do. Yamakurai has a fight with ramping insanity and attacks being added to his move pool. He's nothing too crazy at the beginning, mostly using his physical strength to try and do away with anything attack. He'll stab and swipe with his massive tentacles, for the most part, occasionally slamming his body down on hunters beneath him. He can also release a sleep-inducing gas from his smaller tendrils in an attempt to knock out targets. Additionally, he carries with him a colony of great thunderbugs, with whom he has a symbiotic relationship.
Oh, really?
These insects will make an attempt to paralyze those wounding their host, but if enough of them are struck back towards Yamakurai, they can actually be used to stun him. When angered, Yamakurai begins to display his true power. He drops seeds from his body that spread out and begin to manifest into rings of foliage.
What?
If a storm is currently passing through the highlands, lightning will strike around the battlefield rapidly, and a cyclone of wind will begin to surround you. Yamakurai not only becomes
Hold on. That is a fascinating concept. Hold on. I just glossed over. I didn't even realize. You're telling me this guy spreads seeds as well? Wouldn't that... I don't know. Well, because, like, okay, let's say bees carry pollen, right? And obviously, is pollen... Okay, pollen is, like, something to do with plant, like, reproduction. Does that make him a sort of carrier? Or whatever? If he's, like, literally, I suppose, bombarding you with seeds, would that... Oh, whatever. My brain's too foggy to come up with, like, really complex questions, but if you know what I'm asking, sure. Awesome.
And more aggressive with his physical attacks, but he replaces his anesthetic gas with poisonous and paralytic gases. He will often inhale deeply, trying to suck up hunters into his maw whilst expelling poison from them, pulling them into a venomous cloud before tossing them back to the ground. The ring of plant life created still houses the seeds he dropped, and when struck by him, these seeds will actually erupt into full-grown trees, which stand up into the air, uprooting hunters, before these trees eventually...
What is with the... What? Dog. What the fuck is with Monster Hunter and its insane bone mealing of just plants? You got bamboos that'll shoot up from the ground instantly, and also trees now. See, bro. That's cool, though. I mean, we're not getting much explanation for it, but still, hey. Lots of cool factor in there.
Collapsed back down to the ground. In another instance of turning his powers against him, if hunters manage to strike the seeds before he does, the tree spears can be turned against him, stabbing Yamakurai for heavy damage. And when he is desperate, moment, he undergoes a more radical transformation. His
Uh-oh.
dark green jungle foliage turning
Holy
into the
shit.
brilliant orange reds and yellows of autumn. He has access to sleep, paralysis, and poison.
Oh my god.
One of his new attacks includes repeatedly stabbing his tendrils into the ground, sending paralytic shocks hurling in all directions. He can send huge windy cyclones spiraling across the battlefield to add an extra layer of danger. His speed and strength increase again, and he gains a new attack where he can tear a chunk of earth out from under him, bringing you up with it, and then he will proceed to crush this rocky formation, sending you falling into a pile of rubble. Yamakurai's fight looks rather magnificent. Despite the huge amount of stuff...
That's actually a really cool rage form. Like, the trees turn, like, they're all, like... is that called... Is that right? Autumn? I'm basing it off of what he said, because I don't actually know what season turns trees like that. Like, I know what... some of them turn brown, you know, some of them turn reddish, but I don't know what season that is. I'm assuming it's what he said, which is autumn, right? But that is a really cool, like, rage form. Like, aside from making the skin a little bit more red, because obviously, you know, you all represent some sort of the rage state, right? And then making the trees red. Oh, that is gas. Oh my god.
Going on. The slower pacing of the fight allows you to maneuver all of these abilities, so long as you maintain some degree of situational awareness. There's not too much to talk about regarding the design. I like how Yamasukami looks, so I like how Yamakurai looks. The otherworldly and ancient vibe they give off adds to the mystery that revolves around them.
They do remind me of, like, eldritch stuff. Mainly because of, like, Terraria.
Suppose I like Tsukami's overall simpler shape a little bit, but I also like Kurai's darker colors. Speaking of, his autumn-inspired rage form does look fantastic. It's very fitting for his plant aesthetic.
It looks really cool.
It communicates his rage very well. Yamakurai is a druidic god. His level of control over nature is awe-inspiring, and the sheer spectacle of his fight is something to behold. A plus is that the slower pace allows for it to be more easily enjoyed. The way he employs
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
Toxins and destructive natural forces like lightning and tornadoes makes you feel like the full wrath of Mother Nature has been brought before you. I think Yamakurai is going to get a 9 out of 10. Not even for just him alone, but for what his fight could potentially do to revitalize Yamatsukami, a monster the developers haven't known what to do with for about 15 years now.
I'll give him a 7. He's alright. Dude, that mouth is just so unpleasant to look at. Actually, that jet... I've never actually, like, been jarred by, like, a monster. Usually, you expect the common things of the monster's mouth. A few spiky things here and there. Maybe a tongue. You know. You got your gums and shit. But his looks like... Again, as I described it, teeth that are, like, cut in half and started rotting. It's uncomfortable, bro. Ugh. As someone who's had, like, dental problems before, no. Oh my god. He's okay. Monster-wise, the rage state is really cool. That's good. Music's alright as well.
Torrid class.
This is the music? Wait, hold on. Oh my god, this is kind of banging. Wait, I need to analyze that design. Also, let me memorize the name for a little bit.
Torrid class.
Torrid class. It's what it... Oh, it's some sort of... Can be... I was assuming Piscine Wyvern, but no. It looks more bird-like, if anything. Oh, you look really cool. You remind me of like a peacock or something. The red to blue shifting hue. Oh, that's really sick. Okay, talk to me nice. It's a cool thing, I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, that's a pretty solid theme, wow.
we've got one more big cool bird wyvern. So right off the bat,
Fuck
Torridcless is getting us a couple of free points. Torridcless is an enormously proficient avian hunter, as well as an agile flyer, territorial aggressor, and expert in the art of lightning usage. Torridcless's wings kind of work like highly efficient solar panels. His scales can intake sunlight and turn said sunlight into electricity. He honestly doesn't even need all that much solar energy to function, having been seen gathering power on cloudy days and in caves. Once converted into electricity...
Hold on, I'm confused. And, you know, hey, feel free to explain to yap my ear away, as I do to you guys as well. If he's using like himself as sort of a solar panel, right, from what we've been described, shouldn't most of his wings be black? Because like that does absorb heat, like color wise, that does absorb more heat, right? Or does it not? Or does heat not equal energy? Usually you'd think, you know, I you guys get what I'm saying, right? The color black absorbs more heat, therefore more solar energy for the guy to use. I don't know, but hey, if its biology's working for him, what I gotta say.
Torridcless will add huge electrical shocks to his roster of lethal physical attacks. Torridcless can detonate huge bursts of electricity around him, drop delayed blast lightning mines, imbue his launchable scales with lightning, and bolster his physical attacks with it. His strongest move consists of him releasing a huge amount of lightning into the air to come crashing down all over the arena as massive bolts of lightning. He's no slouch on his own, either. He's strong and agile, while
This is really cool. And partly why I say this is because this is like the first time we get a... I don't know, or maybe the first I've seen, where it is a bird wyvern. I think, that is what I said, right? But like, this time, it's more of like... It's weird because because of how he's described, he's more... I'm getting more of a vibe of like someone who's naturally like super heavy hitting, but they're using like, you know, lightning and thunder this time. That's cool.
Charging foes, he will use his long, sharp wing talons to dig into the ground, rapidly changing his angle and bringing him to a stop. His talons are also sharp as swords, easily capable of shredding opponents. He surprisingly doesn't spend too much time airborne, which isn't an issue. I just expected him to fly more than his fight seems to. Torridcless's only real weakness is that his lightning...
And to be fair, those wings are imposing. You'd think he'd use them a lot, yeah? Like during a fight, I mean.
Use is limited, and he must occasionally stop to gather more sunlight, leaving him exposed to hits. He does, however, have an answer to this, finishing off his charge with a huge blinding flash that will stun anyone that's too close.
Oh my god, bro, I'm looking at my recorder. This shit looks... I'm like squinting my eyes trying to look at this, bro. Like, can we move on?
He can use his flash attack.
Oh my god, was that bright for you guys as well? Holy shit. That was actually quite bright. Oh my god.
Back throughout the fight normally as well. I think Torridcless looks nothing short of fantastic.
Fuck
they
yeah,
wisely kept it.
Oh, that's awesome design. Like the inner part being almost this fiery red looking, I suppose feathers, right? I don't know how hard those feathers are, but yeah. And then oh man, that's cool. Simply amazing, bro.
His main body a bit plain. His back, head, and tail are covered in a light gray, near white coloration of feathers, and his main shell is a good-looking light brown. This lets all the focus go right to his gorgeous wings,
amazing,
vibrant red and orange in the inner wing, where it connects to the bone, giving away seamlessly to a piercing sapphire blue. A matching bright blue on display for his two...
This is actually really good design. Like one that's like aesthetically pleasing in terms of color. You get this nice. Hold on. Run it back. You see this, right? You get this nice mix of like this inner brownish body, on his like underbelly, right? And then the outer being a bit more gray. You got a few spikes here and there. But most colors you're seeing like in the underbelly as well as perhaps the top of it, the top of his, you know, head running down along his back and tail. Usually you're seeing, well, you know, this white coloration here, but so far the midsection, right? from underbelly to the top of his like harder outer well I can't say shell, like his back, I suppose. You got more dull colors. Like they're okay. They're kind of colorful enough to not be boring, but they're plain enough so that the focus is mainly on these amazing looking wings. It's really cool design.
To a piercing sapphire blue, a matching bright
Really
blue on
sick.
display for his two horn-like feathers atop his head. His wings are nothing short of beautiful.
Also, maybe because of his dullness in color is why the flashbang thing he does like works a lot better.
And the minimalist colors on the rest of the body help to let them stand out more prominently.
Yeah,
The
it's
small
amazing.
number of thin orange spines just adds that little extra accent of color to the body and the tail. As an extra detail, when he's fueled up with electricity, his gray feathers poof up, making him look a little bit more rotund and kind of giving him a moth kind of shape. His eyes are also really big and expressive, if not a little bit goofy. I would love to see Torrid Class in a modern Monster Hunter game. Seeing what he would do in the environment, whether sunning himself atop a tree or a large rock, silently intercepting smaller birds to eat in midair, and you know those wings are gonna look immaculate with modern graphics. He's not super complicated.
Oh yes, oh my god. Have you seen Ray Dow? Well, not the wings, right? But obviously the detail looks amazing. But like in terms of like cutscenes and stuff, oh my god, this word would bang out. You magnificent ass wings. Holy shit, that would be, oh my god. Now I really want to see this monster there. Oh my god, 10 out of 10. I gotta say.
He's not godly powerful, but he's wonderfully well-designed monster who
Yeah,
I think
actually
would seamlessly slide into mainline Monster Hunter. Easier than, I would say, most of this game's cast. Though there's not a ton to him, he does what he does super well, and I think he's a pretty easy 10 out of 10 for me.
See, hey, I'm saying, bro, I'm saying. But like the thing is with him is that why CR said this is that like you don't need to like kind of look at him and go, okay, like I want to see him, like, you know, needs a few tweaks here and there. Not really. I mean, again, he's doing whatever the fuck he's doing, but like it's enough that you barely need to change its fucking squat. You barely need to change anything for like this bird wyvern to bird wyvern, is that even a right term? To actually like result in them being like moved on to the other games. Plus I really want to see this one with cooler graphics, bro. Oh, that would be sick, because I've seen like the Wilds cutscene before, right? Dude, oh my god. Dude, I love dual weapons, bro. I mean, I don't use him, right? Because I like my greatsword, bro. But what I love about the dual weapons, especially I'm looking at the person using the Tonfas here, is you kind of sometimes at a few points you kind of just stand there and going crazy with with your dual weapons. It's just really funny to see. I'm going crazy. Just stood still. They're really funny to watch. Also, these are a lot of trumpets for a theme, I think. Are those trumpets? I don't know. They bang out hard though. Sorry if my thoughts are a little scrambled this video. Again, I did just wake up. So, hey. Damn. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I thought he got hit hard. Oh, is it fleeing? Oh! Ear blessing. Wait, ear blessing. I'm sorry if that was loud to you guys. Please lower your volume, but oh my god, that part. Listen to it. That little whistle does it.
Toa.
No, that was sick. Stop. See, this is what I. Oh my god! Some of the themes are just. I can't. I can't. I can't. I'm gonna start fucking up, jumping up and down in joy over here, bro. I can't. Music, because why I care about this stuff is that it's not just that it sounds cool, right? It's not just that, like, like, sure, 60% is like, oh my god, this bangs, wow, right? And it's really cool. It's just generally, awesome to kind of hear that stuff be composed and it, feeling like it fits the monster. But it's not only emphasizing. Obviously, you have to show some measure of grandeur or grandeur. What is bro talking about? You there has to be some sort of grandiose um purpose to the music, right? That you're making for a monster. And when they make those themes like both cool for you as a player and both kind of slightly, or depending on how much they want to make it hostile, like the music sound, right? It is really cool because like that carries the monster as well. Like this shit my theme, bro. This my theme. You know what I'm saying?
Tetsukatora.
Excuse me, what? Is it related to like
Toa Tetsukatora?
Is it related to the Teostra thingy or the Luna? I suppose not. Let me inspect that body shape one more time. What? Play. Toa Tetsukatora. Same build, is it not? Huh.
Toa Tetsukatora.
Another something burst species, I think. I don't know, bro. Hey, you gotta know though. Pretty okay design. I like it, but it feels like your typical icy monster, but the horns are cool.
At the logo for this channel, and
of course. Of course. I forgot.
Asked me if I would like to see this monster in the mainline Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, I bet he would. I bet he would, man. Hey.
The origin species of Teostra and...
Really? Origin species? Wow, okay. That I didn't expect. I forgot he talked about like ancestral or origin species. Oh, that's a really cool concept to play around with, though. That's really cool.
Lunastra. Toa Tetsukatora is a bit of a distant relation, living in the opposite ecological extreme and possessing a mastery of the cold to rival Teostra's fire. The species also seems to lack the sexual dimorphism shared by the fire dragons. Toa Tetsukatora is a cautious, solitary, and intelligent elder dragon, wanting to be left alone for the most part, unless it feels the need to feed. He can conjure an all-obscuring, blood-freezing blizzard in large areas around him that serves as both a deterrent...
Hold on, I'm sorry, is this even aligned? Is this aligned to my screen? I'm tripping, bro.
Against potential threats, and as a weapon against intruders or potential food. The snow-white scales and frozen white fur he has shields him against the cold completely. The hazardous weather conditions he manifests has allowed what Toa Tetsukatora still exist in the world to go undiscovered and undisturbed by the guild for years, only giving themselves away when certain regions were experiencing abnormally frequent blizzards. It may be a bit reductive to call Toa Tetsukatora's fighting style an ice-based flip-flop of Teostra, but it's honestly not all that inaccurate. What Teostra does with fire, Toa Tetsukatora responds with ice. A blizzard rather than a flame aura. Icy breath weapons as opposed to a flamethrower. Toa releases snowy powder from his wings and detonates them as icy bursts rather than huge explosions. He leaves trails of ice spikes in his wake rather than explosive dust. It's not one-to-one, but they did a good job of adapting Teostra's moveset into a new element. He has a few brand new attacks of his own, some different physical attack combos, including this back-and-forth lunging leap combo, an attack kind of like Varu Saburosu's triangular fire prison, where he leaps from point to point to create an ice trap before letting the ice all explode. He has several large-scale icy burst attacks that send huge glacial blasts out around him. One of his biggest attacks includes beating his wings to form massive chunks of ice in the air that will fall to the ground around him. One extra cool mechanic about Toa Tessakatora is that you must keep moving.
See, that's cool. No pun intended, that's cool. What I like about it is that, man, the design was well thought out, wasn't it? Because obviously this is an origin species, and yes, as he said, you can't just call it a flip-flop of of like the original. Well, not original. He is the origin. I'm sorry, of the well-known, like. Oh my god, why am I feeling a yawn like oncoming? Anyway, it's not just a flip-flop, right? And he stated a few abilities. I was like, okay, it's kind of just like in fire, but I mean, hey, this time it's ice. I suppose it works, but then he started stating the unique stuff, and I was like, okay, see, now we're getting somewhere. I like the fact that they have unique stuff as well, because like, if you just left it at like, okay, they're kind of just well, not matching, right? I'm saying like opposites. If you're just saying like, oh, they're opposites, then I like, this, that's cool and all, but there's not much to go off of, right? You get what I'm saying?
Failure to do so will result in the blizzard consuming you, slowly freezing you into a frigid statue for Toa to shatter. Knocking him down can temporarily cut off his blizzard, and shattering his horns can weaken it even further. Much like the moveset, they did a good job of retuning Teostra's design to fit an icy aesthetic. He's got a few extra tufts of fur around his feet to protect him from the cold that kind of look like boots. His frostbitten white and Arctic blue color scheme looks great. He has some nice looking iced over textures on his wings, and I love the touch of the fur on his mane being all frozen and spiky. The two giant horns coming out of the forehead aren't the worst, but they're not the best either.
I disagree. I think those horns are fucking banging. But hey,
absolutely gonna love an amazing element-swapped version of my all-time favorite monster. I think they translated Teostra to an ice monster incredibly
I think pretty well, yeah.
They went above and beyond him just being a color palette and element swap, and made Toa Tessakatora feel just different enough. I love that they repurposed some of Teostra's...
See, like, by that form, that's fair enough. That's fair, bro. Fair game. You're doing... Okay. Alright.
...old moves, and that Toa has some original attacks of his own. I would love to see what a modern Toa Tessakatora would look like. As 2nd generation Teostra, which Toa is based on, and 5th generation Teostra are very...
Again, some of these monsters, bro, like even the ones, like, I don't really want to actually, like, see for real, like, more than some others, right? I still really want to see them with, like, better graphics. Seriously, man. Also, this one is I'd say the color palette is okay. I mean, he's white, he's icy, it's super common stuff. It's nothing crazy to me. I mean, like, a whole color palette scheme that he has going on, nothing crazy to me. But, like, hey, I mean, bro's in Arctic. Evolution doesn't really give a fuck if you look good or not. It cares about, like, are you alive and can you reproduce? Great. Go.
Different fights. What would they do with modern Teostra's shifting fire and blast states? How would they translate Teostra's new combo attacks? What would they do with the supernova? A 6th generation Toa Tessakatora would be a pretty different beast altogether, and I really want to see how he would be updated. 9 out of 10 for wanting to see Toa Tessakatora.
I'll give him a 6. Mainly 6 because it's not my favorite monster. I'm good. CR enjoys this though. This is a pretty cool, like, element swapped version of it. It's not just like, oh, element swap and then they just leave it at that. That would be a little crazy. But he does have unique attacks with him, so very cool. Oh man. Wait. Oh, the theme was getting good by that part, like this one. Ah, that was... Oh, man. See.
Volgang.
Is this a Rajang? Like, that's volcanic. This is crazy. Oh my god, look at those imposing horns. My god.
We're gonna cheat just a little bit here and save the king of Monster Hunter Frontier G for last.
Okay.
Before we get to him, let's cover our fourth and final origin species, ancestors of the infamous Rajang, the Voljang. Voljang share the hyper-aggression, agility, and horrifying physical power of their relatives, as well as the same general shape. But they are much larger, and rather than being covered in thick black fur, they are instead covered head to toe in stone armor. They are also volcano-dwelling beasts, whereas...
No, that's hard. Oh my god, that's unbelievably metal. Well, I mean, in this case, unbelievably stone, right? That's such a corny joke, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's such a corny joke to make, but like seriously though, that's really cool. Like sure, I've heard of like, because I've heard of like Oregon and who else? Who's that one? Gravios, is that right? Yeah, Gravios, and where they do have like these sort of calcified. I don't know, really hard metal, well not metal, really hard plates that are like somewhat part metal, I suppose, right? Either that or it's just really heat resistant. He's actually wearing rocks. This is insane.
Rajang is typically a nomad. Already, this guy sounds pretty cool, but wait until you see where this crazy goes.
Talk to me nice.
Rocky hide effectively shares the same properties as flintstone, as in rock that can be
like rock that can be struck and then produce fire, or at least at the very least sparks, right?
Set on fire, as in
that's
Voljang
fucking badass.
Drags his fist along the ground and lights himself on fire. He doesn't.
No, tell me that's not badass. It's like one of those. What's that one monster that I saw in? He's part of the Fanged Beasts. I know it. He's one of those the ones that kind of like I saw him mainly on Wilds. The one that kind of like he kind of goes up into this bipedal thing to kind of, I suppose it's his way of leaping up. And then he kind of, I think he crashes down with his knuckle and then it strikes the ground or whatever the fuck. I forgot what it was. And then while his knuckle's on the ground, he'll kind of uppercut it like and drag his fist across the ground to sort of create this spark blast that goes your way. Right? And obviously it's really fucking hot. No one would want to be in the way of that. But like, what I'm saying is that, is it kind of like that? Are they similar? Like in terms of like, mechanics, that's really because this is really fucking sick.
Spew fire from vents or cloak himself in an aura of fire. Willingly lights himself on fire. When he's not too mad at you, he'll fight with mostly just physical force, using a lot of attacks you'll recognize from Rajang, as well as a limited ability to spit fireballs or slam the ground hard enough to kick up a bit of lava. But when he's angry, that's when the fight actually starts.
Gets crazy.
He'll grind his knuckles against the rock and let out a roar of defiance with a burst of flame before going on an absolute
goes hard.
His fists, tail, and back all ignite, and he throws everything at you. Fireball projectiles, spinning attacks that wrap flame around his body, the ability to fire off flying fire punches in rapid succession.
No, you're bullshitting me at this point. See, this is what I can't say I hate it, because I really don't. Right? Because Frontier gets away with a lot of this shit by just not explaining it. We're not getting explanations on this, and like it's gotten that bad to the point, like we got like a half-assed explanation, right? And then CR-Volcanic is just like, actually forgot his like actual name. I'll just call him Volcanic. or well, CR-Volcanic works as well. CR-Volcanic to the point is like, okay, at least they gave an explanation, even though like the explanation almost made no sense. Like, but at the same time, because of that, because they don't really actually explain shit and how it happens. Excuse me, flying fire punches? This is getting to anime levels of bullshit. Like, are we serious?
A lava beam. This sick as hell attack where he flicks his tail, creates a ring of fire, and dives through it like he's a circus animal,
Yeah,
sending
what the
bursts of
fuck?
flame flying in all directions. This running slam attack where he kicks up huge trails of lava in his wake, extra fire effects on his physical attacks. His signature move is one of the coolest things I have ever
Talk to me
seen.
nice.
He punches the ground so hard
Oh my
that
God.
it ruptures and lets loose a huge swirling vortex of lava. He will then hide.
No, that's badass. Stop. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my god.
Within said vortex for a moment before lunging at top speed towards a hunter, and if he hits you, he throws you into the apocalypse fire tornado. The animation's
That's
a little
insane.
bit wonky as it is, but the concept is so
Yeah,
so
it's
cool.
so
I think
fucking
Vol'jang
sick.
looks rad. The massive
Nah, he looks, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm a bit of a sucker for, like, I suppose more volcanic themed um monsters. They're just really cool, bro. They usually develop these like plates. They're developing the sort of, I suppose in this case he's basically developing what you could call a stone skin, right? What else? They just look really cool. They maybe harness lava or fire, and it's just so gas, bro. No pun intended. But like, and especially the design, it just looks hard. This is not like, come on, man. Although I will say, um, what was I gonna say? Whatever. He reminds you of the fire gauntlet from Terraria, especially his like left fist in this photo.
upwards twin horns don't always work for me, but they really work well here. I love how
Oh yeah, dude, it's just pure badass. That's really it. Plain and simple. It's just pure badass. It's just pure badass factor.
bulky and big he looks, despite not being amongst the most massive monsters out there. The rocky armor on his body looks awesome, and it's super well textured, conveying the feeling of thick armored plating. The huge firestones
Oh, yeah.
on his knuckles that he ignites are this really nice touch, and needless to say, he looks so goddamn cool when he
Yep.
lights himself
Uh-huh.
on fire. His fleshy, regular looking monkey face looks a little silly on his massive rocky body, but it's not a deal ruiner. I absolutely
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool.
want to see what a modern Vol'jang could do. Going back
Yes.
to his super move, he technically throws you into the fire vortex, but what really happens is he comes flying at you and the game then forces you into it. One of the coolest
Wow.
things they added to modern Rajang is that the newer tech allows him to physically pick you up, hold you in his hand, and throw
Insane.
hunters around for more interactions. Both for the super move and just
I would know about getting picked up, bro. Oh my god. Remember my first encounter with an Anjanath? She had me running. Oh my god.
in general. I want to see Vol'jang pick you up and just ragdoll you all over the
Yep.
place. Deliberately just tossing your ass into a giant tornado of lava. Newer animations would make this guy even cooler. Vol'jang
He would bang out so
another
hard.
10 out of 10 for wanting to see him in mainline Monster Hunter.
I'll give him a 9. Purely because like there are other monsters I want to see. And this one feels just like a really cool Rajang. But hey, give him a 9, bro. He's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? Oh my god. And we will question this for a sec, and it's fair enough, right? Why would he need this like stone whatever skin? Because he lives in a rocky, he lives in this fucking harsh ass volcanic environment, right? And sure, did he call him an origin species or like a distant relative or whatever? But like this is a path that Rajan could also technically go down in terms of like evolution. You make him stay hard like enough in like such a harsh climate like this, he would probably eventually just like have stone skin as well, or at least really heat resistant. Oh, because like you need the skin, it's stretchy and lets you move around, but you know you also need like the heat resistance. That's why they evolve stuff like that. I want you guys to search something right now. Hold on. There's this one particular. I think it's some. I don't know what it was. A mollusk or a sort of snail. Hold on. That one snail thing that uses iron as armor. This is really cool. I'd like you guys to meet this animal, bro. Well, not meet as in like you get the idea. Like introduce you to the not concept, but this is actually a real living thing, right? So listen, I just have this like open on a private tab. That's why you can't see it right now. But I'll read it out for you guys. So AI overview says you are thinking of the scaly foot snail, Chrysomalon squamiferum. Okay, you get it. Sometimes called the sea pangolin or volcano snail. It is the only known animal in the world that naturally incorporates iron into its skeleton. Bro, come on. This deep sea mollusk thrives around extreme toxic hydrothermal vents. See, this is why they needed to evolve that stuff. Uh, in the Indian Ocean and boasts a highly specialized armor system. So you have iron scales or sclerites? Yeah. The sides of the snail's foot are covered in hundreds of hard scales armored with iron sulfides, like pyrite or greigite? Okay. Metallic shell. Its thick shell features an outer layer made of the same iron compounds, a middle organic layer to absorb crushing impacts, and an inner layer of calcium carbonate. Dude, this goes fucking stupid. Infernal engine. What the fuck? It has no digestive system in the traditional sense. Instead, it relies on symbiotic bacteria inside a specialized gland to produce energy. Oh my god. See, bro. And this is crazy. I recommend you guys at least look up like the scaly foot snail or whatever because he looks cool. Like he's like what? He's both red and black. Bro, mind you, this is a real animal, bro. Isn't that crazy? So like to see stuff like this in where things adapt like to volcanic regions, is it a crazy thing to look at? Not really when I know stuff like this exists. Right, but it's still crazy enough because you are taking it to a slight extreme. And it's still kind of plausible. Apart from the part where he starts digging his knuckles into the ground and forms a big ass gazer, but but like you get what I'm saying, right? It's really cool stuff.
Yeah, I want to fight the heavy metal lava monkey.
Yes. The theme is okay.
This is perhaps
oh shit, I'm not zoomed in.
You have been waiting for the king atop the throne of Monster Hunter Frontier.
Who are they glazing, bro?
G10, released in 2016. 4 years.
I'm sorry. Who? I'm trying to get a good look at this.
The introduction of G, and 3 years before the end of Frontier.
Who is bro?
Grand emperor amongst all dragons made himself known. Sat perched atop an ancient civilization.
Yo, they are glazing the fuck out this guy. Who is bro?
Ruin known as the Cloud Viewing Fortress, flanked by his royal guard and boasting a power so grand that none whom have ever faced him have survived. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Lord and Master of Monster Hunter Frontier G,
oh my god,
the Emperor Conqueror Dragon.
Oh, this guy! I've seen him before, I think.
Guan Zorumu.
What's his name? Guan Zarumi? Zarumu? Yeah, okay. Oh my god. I get he's really lined up with, he's really, you can see his like the frame of his design. He's really like lined with like these thick like calcified plates of whatever. It really makes him look like he's armored of some sort, or he's got like this really thick bone framing outside of his actual skeleton. It looks really fucking cool. Look at that. They did. I like the fact that they put in effort. Well, of course, no shit. Of course, you're gonna put in effort. But like, what I like about it is, it. They really did make him feel as some sort of conqueror. Like even by design, right? Even by visual design, he looks gilded. Oh my god.
Up until rather recently, Frontier got a lot of flack from Western fans.
Why?
It's nothing but arena-encompassing explosions in the gameplay. The monsters look like shit. It's nothing but single arena fights. It's just an action game. None of the monsters are like real animals. Those are a bit of a straw man, admittedly, but...
Yeah, what? I mean... Okay, for some points, I don't know. When people wanna... This is just my take on it. When people want to discuss stuff and like prove points, I don't like it when like they're presenting it in with such an angry tone as well. Like, okay, let's have a fair discussion, bro. My god. Like, are some of the monsters unlike like typical Monster Hunter monsters? Yes, but like again, is no. I can't even see it as like, oh, it's no Monster Hunter. Not really. Come on, when you have things like Valstrax flying around the fucking game, right? And he's written off, and sure, he's an Elder Dragon, and you can excuse, I suppose, weird behavior from that, right? It's a fucking jetpack dragon flying around at fucking Mach 2. We can excuse some of this. Come on. You need to be like, these are fair points. Sure, the area encompassing attacks are a bit much. I have seen several of them, even through just these like game clips, right, where the hunter literally has to get away from the dragon, or whatever else he's fighting, to kind of avoid the destruction it is bringing onto them. But still,
those statements are out there. They did and do exist.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that in the influx of information, Espinas's appearance in Sunbreak, and the work of various content creators, there has been more allowance for a more accurate insight into Frontier to be granted to Western fans who didn't really know what the game was. But in spite of all that...
Honestly, if I was sort of a, I suppose, die-hard Monster Hunter fan from the start, I would also maybe hate this game, right? Because like, from like, I'm empathizing here a little bit, and I'm putting myself into their shoes. If I was like, you know, a Monster Hunter fan from the start, I would be like, what do they want here? Like, what's the, what's the goal? It's just like a huge sort of experiment with what you can see, what you can kind of do. Is that why they're not? And like, the devs kind of just need to say it, I suppose. Where it's like, hey guys, we're not giving away explanations. That's because this whole thing is like sort of experimental. Because if it's not right, if it's not experimental, okay, give us something to work with. Come on, like, we love the ecological stuff here. We love the fact that, the game is absolutely teeming with life. But when you have stuff like this, in where it's mostly grandiose stuff and it's unexplained, yes, the wow and holy fuck and cool factor is, like, off the charts. But, like, we care about some of the, I suppose, in-depth stuff outside of that, and we're like, okay, how does this monster actually function? Like, outside of us fighting big cool monster.
In spite of all the flack and the misunderstandings and the hatred that the game used to get, Back in the day, there was a fairly unanimous agreement across the bulk of the greater Monster Hunter fandom. No matter the negative opinion of Frontier, right or wrong, it was rather unanimous that Guanzorumu was amazing. The Emperor, Conqueror, Dragon. A lordly individual of nigh peerless power.
My god.
A sovereign of a kingdom once ruled by man and now dominated by a far higher regality. Dominator of wyverns, slayer of man and beast. A smashed rocky structure that once likely held some probable...
Bro, they talking about this guy like he's the fucking boogeyman, bro. What the fuck? Yo, who is this? Genuinely, who is this, bro? And he actually sitting on a throne and shit. What the fuck? Who is this guy? I'm genuinely confused.
Importance to ancient humans now serves as his throne, upon which he reclines and observes his empire. Unlike many godly elder dragons who rule over a kingdom of nothing, Guanzorumu does indeed have subjects. Whether many monsters are permitted near the Cloud-Seeing Fortress is unknown, but what do still remain in this territory is Guanzorumu's army of small flying wyverns that exist at his beck and call.
Oh, wow, okay.
Egirasu are incredibly loyal to their master, willing to fight for him, despite their timid nature. A massive flock of Egirasu can be seen observing your battle with Guanzorumu, but in the initial phases of the battle, he can call his subjects to his side. They can attack in tandem with him, adding their fire breath to his, magnifying his area of effect. They can swoop in and dive bomb at hunters attacking their king, and every once in a while, Guanzorumu will command his Egirasu.
This is strange. They're actually using a sort of cooperation here, which is weird. And there's like, obviously, we're looking at animals here. Animals do cooperate. I've literally seen my house spiders, like 2 of them, take down this giant wandering roach that just got into my home for some fucking reason, right? And dude, it was insane because the two of them were actually like kind of tolerating each other. They'd be like, okay, hold on, we got this big meal right here. They're preparing some mukbang on some shit. But like to see them like actually cooperate in where they are essentially like strategizing mid-battle is kind of crazy to see, is it not? Wow.
To swoop down upon hunters, grab them, and carry them off the Cloud-Seeing Fortress, sending them hurtling to their deaths. This is an instant feint, by the way, but not too difficult to avoid. Guanzorumu himself is so powerful to the point where his army seems almost like overkill. When you trespass into his domain, he will descend from his throne and bring his wrath down upon you. Beats of his wings create hurricane force winds. His roar is the loudest in all of Monster Hunter, louder than even those of gargantuan behemoths like Laviente and Dalamadur. I'm not even sure how that's physically possible. His scales turn away swords, his blows crush armor like tin cans, and his fire incinerates all. His first phase utilizes many physical...
See, CR-Volcanic with his script writing, bro, always on that crazy shit. Because you know, he's got this script, he can focus fully into glazing the fuck out of the, you know, the monster with both tone, timing, and the punchiness of his speaking, right? It's really cool, man. I'm learning a lot as well. Oh my god.
Attacks that are standard for elder dragons of his shape. You'll recognize the animations of his charge, paw swipes, and he even has a slam down attack from the air that you'll likely recognize from Elatrion. He has a heavy paw slam combo that'll get his foot stuck in the rocks for a brief moment. He has a forward slam attack that creates a flame burst, a huge arcing tail sweep. He can beat his wings with incredible strength, kicking up enormous wind gusts, and he has a variety of fire attacks. He often uses his Egirasu to bolster these moves, either having them baptize him in a ring of fire or aid in strengthening his flamethrower. Typically, they will breathe fire in the same direction that he does, but they can fake you out by crossing their flame path attack in different directions, attacking you.
That's crazy.
At multiple angles and boxing you in. He can also breathe fire whilst in the air. When Guanzorumu begins to take the fight seriously, his wings become alight with flowing flames, and the orange glow of fire will start to pour out of his small gaps in his shell. His paltry commanding roars were nothing compared to his organ-bursting wind tunnel roar attack. He has a new fire attack combo, where he creates an explosive burst and follows up with a sweeping flame.
Great, he's so fucking loud and reaching decibels so mighty that he's just casually rupturing organs. Bro, lest we forget, the fucking hunters are essentially superhuman. You can't train your organs, bro! A certain decibel, your organs will just go... They're just gone! They're just gone! It's not even that. It's not... I'm not saying your organs will just, just pop, snap, crackle, and whatever. Right? But, most of the time, at the levels he's describing where organs are literally, getting fucked over, right? Your organs will actually start getting torn by themselves. It's fucking insane.
Flamethrower. He follows up on his charge with a horn thrust that ignites a ball of fire around him. He can retreat into the air by sending a huge shockwave of wind.
I don't know how accurate the things I said were, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm just a guy who knows a little bit about things.
Out in front of him with his wings. He extends several of his physical attack combos, and it is at this point where he can order his Egirasu to throw you off the tower, a move during which he will take to the skies.
Crazy.
When the Egirasu are done, he comes crashing back down.
Damn!
Though not the most hectic of battles that Frontier has ever seen, this is a brutal challenge, and you should be commended for getting this far. To endure Guanzorumu and his army up to this point is an exemplary feat of skill and strength. In fact, you have now injured him quite badly, angered him fully, and as the dragon's ire builds, you have even caused his entire army to flee in terror. Quite the remarkable accomplishment.
Oh yes.
Only problem is, you're not going
He's not dead yet
to regret it.
Oh, what is going on, bro? So far, I was like, I don't see the hype. What is he doing? I'm sorry, what did he just do? Did he just eat one of his subjects? He did. He just... Bro, oh my god. Switched up on his day ones. That's crazy. Oh wow, that's cool. Yo. Fatalis, be real with me for a sec. Is this your brother? Is this your brother? Fucked up a kingdom, right? Turns into this cool, I suppose Fatalis already has this sort of black dragon feel to him. This guy is also has this darker form now, and are you guys related? What is going on? Oh my god, that's dragon energy. That's dragon energy for sure. Is that what it's called? I'm right? Yeah.
Snagging an Egirasu out of the air, Guanzorumu showcases his disgust with the weakness of his servants by crushing the
That's insane.
example with a single bite before letting out a roar of wrath that sends his army scattering to the winds. The very weather changes. Dark storm clouds roll in. The flames on his wings are gone and his bright green scales darken.
That's insane, bro. I'm gonna kill one of y'all. And the rest of you, fuck off. I don't want to see y'all. Y'all weak as shit. That's insane. That's basically what happened, bro.
His wing membranes turn near black with faint...
Yeah, I can barely see them anymore.
Blood-like red mixed in.
Like the membranes of his wings.
Give way to the
Jesus Christ.
Crackling red and black of the destructive dragon element. Guanzoru's attacks become far stronger. Many of them now infused with dragon. He becomes even faster. His hits land even heavier. He keeps more or less his entire attack arsenal from the first phases of the fight, but with a much more sinister power behind them now. He now possesses an attack where he spirals into the air, firing off a cloud of dragon energy beneath him before landing and detonating the gathered together energy. This will be followed up by large raining projectiles of dragon element. Guanzo has a combo where
did y'all see that? How do you even dodge that, bro?
he will strike before flying off to a further distance and exhaling a vortex of dragon energy. He'll combo out of his wind tunnel roar into a dragon-empowered slam, and he now possesses the ability to nuke the arena with a massive draconic sphere that he sends forth from his mouth. You're almost at the end, but there's one last push. In the final stages of the fight, Guanzo maintains his darker form and strikes up the flames upon his wings once more. A last stand at full power. You're almost through this battle and you see—
oh, he looks cool! Fuck it, 10 out of 10. I don't see the hype with how glorious he is, but I see it with like this form. This is really cool.
In most of what he has to offer, you just need to survive. He drops many of his basic—
hey, don't get me wrong, the design of his like first form was also really fucking sick.
And less powerful physical moves, and focuses on his more grandiose draconic powers. He uses his draconic nuke, hurricane breath, slicing wings, and dragon corkscrew attacks more frequently. He adds new attacks to his arsenal, one where he swings his wings in a massive arc, kicking up draconic tornadoes which go spiraling across the arena. Another where he flies high and rains down draconic hellfire upon the ground. And when the last strike comes down upon the scaly hide of the dragon, Guanzo draconic fire explodes out around him, and he crumples to the ground, dead. What a fucking experience. Wow. 4 phases of ramping power, grand spectacle, an army in service to—
again, you know what? See, I like this as well about Frontier. Some of these monsters will genuinely just fight you until they die. Like, motherfuckers will die until they, like, die of, like, a fucking heart attack. Essentially. Some of them would rather do that than go out, like, you know, like, being killed by you. That's insane, is it not? My god, some of these, you know, I wouldn't say it. Like, I could say it's for survival. But I feel like some of them as well almost have this obnoxiousness to them. Like this one as well. Especially this one. He's a sort of king, right? So you would probably think he's got a sense of pride to him. I don't know. Kind of like Vegeta. On some Vegeta shit.
An emperor, raging fire giving way to draconic hellfire. A building and building and building of level of might and spectacle and power and attacks. It is a brutal, long, resource drain, skill testing battle that goes from challenging to insane. And even at the height of his power, his fight doesn't necessarily look unfair. His design captures the title of Emperor Conqueror Dragon perfectly.
See, that's what I'm saying. Amazing looking design. Bro would fit right into Calamity.
The royal
seriously,
scale,
he really would.
The fiery cape of wing membrane flowing behind him. The golden decor.
Because like, see, for people who don't play like Terraria Calamity, most of that stuff is like, I'm saying this because it's a mod. It's not your typical Terraria experience, but most of its expansion is like these almost godly beings that are like, because obviously you start out as the thing is with like a Terrarian, they're insanely powerful, right? Because like you're able to face these fucking, you know, these godly ass beings like as you progress. But like the thing is with that is most characters like post whatever boss you were at, I forgot which one it was. I haven't played it like quite a while. And then where you start fighting some like, I don't know, some things that are like almost up there with the deity stuff, or like in terms of like power scaling or whatever the fuck. You have a lot of these bosses that are like, oh, I am a king. I am a god. Who is this mortal right? Who is this mortal trying to step up? Kill me? Me, of all things. Right? And then they have that sort of feel to them where it's like they're almost kind of offended that you think you can take on them. Right? And but you, then ultimately, you do, and this is why I think like he fits. He's really got this almost like super regal kind of godly status that both people are giving him, and to be fair, himself as well, because his power is like actually he power wise. I do think it's a bit simple. It's mostly like dragon element and fire. So I suppose well, to me, right, it's a bit simple because I've seen the a bunch of the stuff a lot, like fire and like sure. Have I seen them in one monster? I don't think so. But I can't deny it. This man probably powerful, bro. That's why I'm saying like he fits. So he's right up the alley of like Calamity, bro. He's like on some jungle. What was that one? Fucking King Yaron shit.
Or on his horns, spikes, the sinister Dark Lord.
Sorry for the tangent.
Colors in his later phases, and the burning flames upon his wings when enraged. His color palette is perfectly picked. I love his
it's amazing.
Golden crown of horns, his well-placed spikes on his wings, legs, and tail. Not too long, not too short, and not too plentiful. And maintaining that perfect pale gold color. His head shape is properly menacing and intimidating.
I like him in this form, the one you're seeing right now. I like that the emphasis goes and gets pulled away from his bony parts. The crown and the skeleton of his wings, or the exoskeleton of his wings, almost kind of become this like hard to discern black, right? Almost jet black. Obviously, if they remove the glow or kind of shininess of it, it would just become like plain black, which is much harder to see. What the fuck am I on? Anyway, because of this as well, it's pulling away your attention from this color, right? Yes, you can see most of him becomes like blackened, right? But the focus becomes entirely on his eyes, this draconic energy to complement it, and along with that is his amazing looking wings in this form. It's really cool design, man. Come on.
Intimidating. God, dude, I just love how he looks. Guanzorumu is one of Monster Hunter's coolest creations. He perfectly matches my favorite aesthetic in the games. Regal and stoic lords of destruction. He is everything I love about monsters like Teostra, Rathalos, Elatrion, all brought up to the highest caliber of power possible. I love that he reclines on a throne in his opening cutscene.
This is what I'm saying about that like pride thing. He's got this sense of not pompousness, right? We're not talking about Flavio here, but like he's almost got this pridefulness to him, like type of shit. You know, he's got this oomph to him. This sort of like, I am a king, right? And he knows that shit. So him knowing that shit, you will have this sort of offense that are like, you think you can like me? You think you can face me, bro? Okay. Like he's almost offended, right, at the thought of it. But again, yeah, you go and face him anyway, but still it's amazing. Also, I'm saying he fits right up the alley of Calamity. They have a bunch of bosses that like take offense as well. Are you trying to face me, bro?
I love that he takes the pack mechanic of bottom tier monsters and escalates that idea to Elder Dragon proportions. I love the shifting colors and the fiery wings and the rampaging infernos of Dragonfire. For what he is, Guanzorumu is perfect. If I could pick any one monster for Frontier to have return, it would be him. Guanzorumu does not get a 10.
Honestly, sure, but like he's an Elder Dragon. He's gonna be hard to regularly spot.
Out of 10.
It would be cool though.
12 out of 10 for how much I would like to face him in the main
Holy
series.
glaze.
Fun fact.
Don't be off-put by me saying like, "Oh, he's glazing" or whatever. I'm sorry. When something is really cool, obviously you gotta glaze. You gotta glaze. That's fairs. That's fairs. I'm just saying. I'm just saying he is glazing because like for myself as like an outside viewer of it, like I don't see the hype all that well, but I can see why it would be like super hype for CR-Volcanic and among other people as well. Well, fair enough. But hey, I'll give him he's an 8 for me. He's pretty cool. I can't even lie to you. He is cool.
There is also an 11 out of 10 monster that is yet to show up, but he will be in one of these videos. Bonus points if you can guess who. Now, with G concluded, we are in the final stretch. Monster Hunter Frontier Z awaits, as do our last 4 unique monsters before we discuss some of the more broad categories of monsters and wrap this sucker up. Finish line is in sight, boys.
Alright. Whoa. I'm getting goosebumps. This team is banging right now. Yes, that thing again. That grandiose feeling of a fight, especially something as powerful as this, is amazing. Yeah, see? Oh my god, I love it when like music shows how grandiose this fight is. Bro. Because like when you have a fight, you need to show how significant or insignificant it is. Right? And with this, obviously this is a significant fight. And you must communicate that non-verbally. What are the ways we can do that? Okay, we have monster design. Monster forms, the ramping power of this guy, and also the music. The music, bro, the music. It's both visual and like auditory not I suppose storytelling could be the word. But like it's telling you that like this fight is like this is pretty grandiose, man. You're not against your typical fucking like I don't know, brute wyvern or whatever, or elder dragon. I suppose there's no typical elder dragon. What would I even look like? Nergigante or some shit? Then again, they're L2, right? Not L2. I don't know. You get the point. Wow. The music, man. Come on.
Xenocerisu.
Who the fuck is this? Whoa. This is a lot more black and red than like the last monster we just saw. Whoa, 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 whoa. Origin Arkveld? Whoa, like you guys are seeing the wing whips, right? You guys are seeing this, right? Arkveld. Let me guess, he likes choking people too. Okay, buddy. Oh my god, he's actually slashing with that. That's crazy.
And at long last, we are in Monster Hunter Frontier Z, the last
I see.
of Frontier. We have 4 final unique monsters to cover, due to the fact
Talk
that the
to me nice.
and Zenith were more or less ruling the roost at this point. But that doesn't mean the developers put no effort into the monsters of this era.
Drink some water.
Xenocerisu is up first, and is a close relative of Berukyrosu and Doragyrosu. He too is a flying wyvern with large whip-like
Oh, it's true. They do look alike. I was gonna say, like, wait, doesn't Arkveld not have any relatives? Isn't he artificial? I forgot what he is. I forgot. Forgive me.
Appendages extending out from the back of his wings. He's much more bat-like in terms of design, and has a bit of a fish aesthetic thrown in. Additionally, he wields the water element, as opposed to lightning or draconic lightning. He is the apex predator.
That's unique. Usually with a design like this, you're getting stuff like, oh, draconic energy, or something of the sort, right? Because like obviously the design is very telling, very very telling. But no, this is okay.
Sitting at the
Sure.
top of a new map called the Painted Falls. A gorgeous
Wow.
paradise of waterfalls, exotic vegetation, gorgeous sights.
I just realized. I wonder though. I know I'm not gonna get an answer because this is Frontier, but I wonder why they would evolve a darker coloration with this red hue of sorts in such a watery, not forest, watery, teeming with life area. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at the frame we're in right now. You got this big ass waterfall. You got like greenery all around as well, and it generally just looks like some sort of like little pond thingy, whatever place.
Radiant waterfalls, right? And
yeah.
Apparently water whip wielding batfish wyverns. Nice place.
Jesus.
Yeah. Things I love right
nice
away
place.
about Zenitsu is that he is one of the coolest.
I'd low-key like to make a home here. This looks like an amazing place. Doesn't it? My god.
Water monsters going, and makes full use of his whips, whereas Betakurosu and Doragyorosu use
occasionally.
Them sparingly. There's a reason Zenitsu is known as the water-cracking wyvern. Deceptively durable, enormously quick, staggeringly strong, and a very talented flyer, Zenitsu is a creature to be—
Holy shit! Did you see that?
Feared simply by his staggeringly strong and a very talented flyer. Zenitsu is a creature to be feared simply by his own—
Did he just like water jet the fuck out of the ground, flip it right to make this massive slash along with his like whips? Nah, this is actually peak. Oh my god.
Physical merits. His smaller, skinnier stature is likely to deceive higher level predators into believing that he's an easy mark, which would be a woefully incorrect sentiment. He wields his razor—
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. If you make that mistake, do not be surprised you end up as his dinner.
Edged whip wings with masterful skill and lethal proficiency, twirling them, spinning them, lashing them, stabbing with them, slashing with them. The whips are massive and muscular, tipped in spear-like points and coated in razor-sharp spines. It doesn't matter how he hits you with them, he just has to hit you.
Yes! Yep. And this is why, like, you know how, hold on, let me get the fan on me. It's fucking hot as shit. That like when people practice stuff like, I don't know, I've seen like a few like cool stuffs like relating to like, is it called like Hema or Hema? I forgot what it's called, but it's some sort of like official sports thing apparently that like where you do fight with like knightly stuff like great sword, like actual great swords. Not Monster Hunter great swords. That's like, come on. And I think they also cover stuff like, I think fencing. Fencing is what it's called. And I've seen like actual like people like using like legitimate like sword techniques. Yeah. And it doesn't look pretty. It looks fast. It looks technical. And that's the main thing with it. It doesn't look pretty, but what matters is if you're wielding a blade, bro. All I have to do is cut you with the edge. It doesn't need to look pretty. It doesn't need to look grandiose. Come on, it's used for killing. So when people are like making techniques and like this whole sort of martial art thingy behind the sword and like the skills you do with it, I mean, it's not gonna look pretty, bro, but it will be efficient, just like this tail whip thing. It doesn't give a fuck how it hits you with it, it just has to connect. Because if it does, well, you'll be patching that up quite a bit.
Placed whip strike is gonna bisect you clean in twain, or puncture you in one end and right out the other. One fantastic display of his prowess is his ability to lift rocks up out of the ground with...
I'm sorry, but if he's actually able to crack that like a whip... Bro, I'm sorry, you... See, that's like a low survival rate at that point. Imagine if he cracks his, like, his whip, and then you're at the receiving end at the very tip of his whip. Well, good luck, man. You might as well ask, like, a fucking javelin to be thrown through you. Because this is even... I'd argue this is worse.
His talons toss those rocks up into the air and cleanly slice said boulder right in two with his whips.
See, this is getting absurd. I swear to God. This is getting absurd. Frontier, man. Frontier.
Sending the chunks of rock hurtling down towards hunters. To add an extra layer of fun to this dance of death, Zenitsurusu can eject vast quantities of water out of his mouth, wings, and tail. He's got a number of ways to weaponize this water, but his favorite is to slice up the water he's ejecting into the air with his whips, carving the water up into blade-like projectiles.
Oh my God! See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying some of this is just straight bullshit. Bro, he's firing off melee projectiles. Come on. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is ridiculous.
With tremendous force.
He can bring his tail
down hard onto the ground, ripping up huge geysers in the impact area, lacerating the very earth underneath him, and sending the excess water from the painted falls out in all directions. In spectacular display. He has one gorgeous attack where he spews up a huge puddle of water, takes to the skies, and flies so fast that he swirls up the pool of water into a massive aquatic vortex that breaks apart into smaller, spinning watery cyclones. Other attacks include a double whip spin, a 360-degree water beam, whip stabs, an attack where he roots his whip to one spot and spins on that axis.
Insane, by the way.
And an attack where he coughs up so much water that it just causes a huge geyser to erupt up out of the ground.
Damn.
One really cool extra detail is that both whips and his tail are severable. This far from neuters his moveset entirely, but it does noticeably hinder his abilities. I am a really big fan of part breaks that actually hinder the monster's moveset,
part breaking,
so
okay.
Further adds to my liking of this fight.
That's really cool.
The Painted Falls really completes his aesthetic, adding this gorgeous vista to fight him in that supplies him with the massive source of water to play around with that he needs. All while this just really fun and high energy backing track matches the spectacle and rapid pace of the fight. Zenitsurusu definitely fits the Painted Falls perfectly. He isn't super tied to it ecologically. To make him work in a modern Monster Hunter game, if you didn't have this map, you just need a lot of fresh water around him for him to fight properly. Zenitsurusu definitely has a super...
Sorry, man. 10 out of 10. He's really cool. He's like another... I don't know, because... if Glavenus is kind of like the Greatsword, this guy really reminds me of like Dual Blades. That's really sick, man.
Cool design. And his general shape, I think, looks pretty awesome. I love the choice to go with a bat wyvern. We only have one other bat in mainline Monster Hunter, and he's just kind of a big cottony pushover. Zenitsurusu is a properly intimidating, spooky-looking bat. And the added fish elements give him a look that's purely his own. And I love the fact that they went back to the awesome wing whips that Barakirosu and Doragirosu had, but didn't make too much use
fucking
of,
cool,
and
man.
then took that concept and maxed out the potential of those unique appendages. I adore these whip wings on all three, and I'm very happy that they were able to make a monster that pushes those wings to their limits. He's got a bit of an unexpected color scheme for a water monster in a beautiful tropical island setting. Jet black skin.
I said.
Tail's blood red coloration on the ends of his whips and a few other parts of his tail and head, as well as silvery blue coloration for his wings. You can even see the water rushing over his wings, which is a really nice detail. The reds on his body and the fleshy pink color on his underbelly are supposed to be indicative of the color of salmon. Also, harkening back to his fish elements is the shape of his tail. I didn't even mention that when he's enraged, parts of Zenitsu's whips, most of his underbelly,
Oh,
and parts
wow.
of his face turn this bright red color, and it looks really cool, but
Yeah,
I don't
holy
know.
shit.
I don't think he actually needs it. I think his base form looks really good on its own. I think he's maybe a little spikier than he needs to be,
Sure.
and I think his whips may...
I think he's fine as is, and also like the enraged state, because when this sort of enraged state happens, you would want a slightly more. You'd want a slightly more oomph look to it, right? And when you have him like with a darker, more rich blood looking shade of red, um, it does look like, he's pumping more blood. He's super furious and angry.
Be a bit thicker.
So,
than
that
they
would
have
be
to
cool.
They honestly look kind of heavy and bulky in comparison to the rest of his wings. I get the need for razor blades on his whips, but I think the rows of spines on his back aren't necessarily needed. A little bit of cleanup, and I think he's looking pretty perfect. Zenitsu is a really fun monster. He balances edginess, grace, elegance, badassery, and an inspired amalgamation of creatures packed into his design, and it blends.
What I will say is, what I like about how he feels as a fight is that it almost feels like you're fighting this terrifyingly agile, gigantic swordsman. That's what he feels like to me. It's really cool, man.
Really well. I actually like that he has this dimension to him. Keeps him from being just the cool monster, and helps him fit a little bit better into his home. I think Zenitsu is a bit of a standout. He feels very different from his relatives, very different from other water monsters, and I think the way he combines the two prolific pieces of his identity, his whips and his water, is executed masterfully. I'd love to see what they would do with a monster like this in Worlds. Maybe animations where he's spearfishing with his whips. There's art of him out there sleeping upside down like a bat, but I don't think he actually does that in game, and I really, really want to see him do that. Like,
please.
Zenitsu was a monster I was excited to get to, and I came away from this section absolutely loving him. I think he'd be another monster with a slightly toned down fight in mainline Monster Hunter, but damn, I really want it. 9 out of 10 for Zenitsu. Love this guy.
I'm sorry, listen, right? Bro, if you because like obviously I play Worlds, right? And again, I still haven't progressed with the quest because I do want to take you guys with me when I'm doing like actual official quests, and obviously I'll cut them kind of short, whatever, so there's not much for dull moments, right? But what I'm saying is, like, my main point is that him in like Worlds, oh my god, bro, listen, like the sound design for them like whip impacts, oh. Listen! Oh my god! Come on, man! Like, that... Because obviously he has tail whips, bro. So when he does the shit where he whips the literal ground to kind of do shit, like, with that... Man, the impact and the sounds of the rock breaking, and almost like this cracking... Maybe a crack effect as well for the representation of the tail whipping, whatever. That would be sick. Like, yo, when the sound designers get to work on that, like, oh my god, listen, that would be amazing. Also, his theme is pretty banging as well. Holy shit. Again, it really entails to what I just said. It feels like you're fighting this much bigger, horrifyingly agile, like other swordsmen. It's really sick. Oh my god.
Kyo Aruboru.
Who the Oh, you look. Oh my god. My dopamine centers. Look at how he looked. Oh my god. Oh yes. Long fire breath attack. Fuck yes. Oh, you're awesome looking. What the fuck?
It took Frontier a long damn time.
Nah, this is... Oh my god! No, I'm liking his design. Already off rip, bro.
To get to a fight like this, a fortress defense against a gigantic behemoth of an Elder Dragon.
Oh, yes.
Kiyo-Aruboru
This is an Elder Dragon. Oh my god.
comes to fill this spot.
Look at those horns. What a unique shape. Oh my god. I can't even discern what... Huh.
Sure, you had dragons like Ruka Diora and Rebi Diora and Harudo Murugu knocking on the walls of the Interceptor's base every once in a while, but they're small fries. This base needed a real threat, a kaiju to come knocking down the doors and wreak mayhem and calamity. So along comes a walking volcano, seeking to wipe out the Interceptor's base and all who would guard it.
Yeah.
Kiyo-Aruboru was the final challenge at the end of a special event known as Interception Quests, a whole string of events that led up to the defending of the base against the oncoming Elder Dragon. Kiyo-Aruboru's core ability is that his body produces utterly enormous amounts of heat, which he can expel in enormous geysers of flame. He gathers heat from the air with his horns and spreads it throughout his entire body. His skin can withstand enormously high temperatures and stores all that heat until the buildup becomes so extreme that Kiyo-Aruboru will create massive blasts of fire from his body. The parts of his body set to detonate will glow red, and if they are dealt enough...
He almost reminds me of, like, kind of like Broly. You know, it builds so much energy to the point you have these like ki blasts literally coming off of him like involuntarily because of how much ki he's building up. It's insane stuff. It's really cool.
Damage, the detonation can be averted. This fire can also be exhaled in enormous quantities from his mouth. Any detonation or sweeping flame beam is strong enough to annihilate defensive installations and incinerate hunters to cinders. The chip damage his fire attacks deal is insane, and huge pools of molten rock are left in the wake of his physical attacks. It is awesome to see the ground crack under his footfalls as his man-sized claws burrow their way into the earth. His paw slams create enormous quakes, and he can expel huge volumes of hot air that can fling hunters back. When he is able to detonate a body part he is charging, he envelops much of the arena in rampaging wildfires. When pushed to his second phase, Kiyo-Aruboru will retreat underground for a moment to gather his bearings, dig underground, and re-emerge with a massive burst of fire.
Are you serious? Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh, that's insane. Oh my... I almost think that's a reference. I know it probably isn't, and I'm probably reaching. But that looked like... Look at this angle. I'll pause it when I see it. Look at this horn formation. Doesn't it almost look like some sort of DBZ character? I might be reaching, but oh my god, the horns look like almost like a hair formation of some sort for the fucking DBZ character. Say like Trunks or something, or maybe Goku. Oh my god, is it? No, I'm reaching, right? Surely. Still really fucking cool though. Oh my god, you're awesome. I need to see it. 11 out of 10. I need to see it.
His legs, tail, and chest engulfed in flames, and his horns glowing a molten color. His burning spectacle is enormously elevated here, and he is a bit faster. He consistently unleashes huge torrents of burning winds, singeing everything around him. He can leap a surprising distance into the air and come crashing down. Although he can do massive
Bro.
damage if he hits you, and his fiery spectacle is impressive, Kiyoaruboru actually has a bit of a reputation for being incredibly easy. It makes sense, considering how big and slow and lumbering he is, and how absolutely cracked out of your mind insane hunters could be by that time in Frontier.
Sure.
Unfortunately, Kiyoaruboru was a bit too little too late. It's a cool encounter aesthetically, but I think there's a reason there weren't many giant monsters in Frontier. They're not quite built to deal with what the players had at their disposal. It's honestly a bit tough to find great
That's a bit sad,
as he gets pretty easily beaten. It's funny.
Yeah, like even in this clip, like he's getting thumped, the hunters are somewhat of full health.
After looking at monsters like 2nd District Dure Modira and Shite,
I think he's just placed in the wrong order of time in like wrong order of time in what? Like the progression is what I meant to say, yeah. The progression. Wrong order of time in the progression of the player. So by the time they're here, they're just absolutely cracked out of their minds with these crazy ass gear.
Roa and Final Phase Guanzorumu. Kiyoaruboru kinda looks like a slightly more over-the-top version of a typical giant monster in regular Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Now, as he is,
poor guy.
Kiyoaruboru
he's so cool, though.
Probably would be a decent challenge in a game like 4 Ultimate or Iceborne, maybe Sunbreak, and honestly, probably wouldn't need too many changes for a mainline game. Perhaps a slightly broader move pool would be nice, but he honestly seems fairly well balanced for the games that we in the West are currently playing. I think you could maybe add an extra layer of cool factor to Kiyoaruboru by having him be able to melt base defenses when he gets too close.
Oh,
Better
yes!
Make good use of the siege weapons while you have them, because eventually they're going to be nothing but molten slag. You know, how devastating would it be to see the iconic Dragonator, the be-all and end-all weapon for siege fights, reduced to a pool of red-hot sludge?
Yup. Oh,
That's one thing I think Kiyoaruboru should definitely get. His design is a strange one, to say the least. Honestly,
I'll be so real, because like his design communicates one thing to me, and it's that it makes sense as well, because to be honest, he doesn't look more like a sort of brute to me. No, he looks like a demolisher of some sort. He's meant to break down like buildings and such. He's meant to break things, destroy environments, right? He looks more like a sort of demolisher to me than anything. So like if he's not good in fights, I'm not all too surprised. He looks like a demolisher, man.
I think his render does him a massive disservice. I don't think this angle properly conveys his look at all. He looks disproportionate with awkwardly huge paws, and his torso looks just kind of naked. You really got to get a good...
Sure, okay, that's a fair point.
Look at the massive bone structures coming up.
Yes, there you go.
Off of his shoulders and hovering over his back. So really get a good feel for him. You need a good head-on shot or a full-on side profile to see.
I like how we're talking about like actual angles. He really doesn't look good in his angle, but if you get him at this angle, hey, bro's photogenic in some parts.
See him properly. Kiyoaruboru has this large, branching, bone-textured, almost somewhat kinda wing-shaped thing coming up off his shoulders and wrapping up over his back. Structures of similar texture make up his horns, guards around his arms, and much of his tail. It looks like he's wearing some kind of ornate, wooden, bone, ceremonial battle armor. It's
really cool.
Tough to put it into words, honestly. It's such a weird design choice for monster armor. It feels so decorative.
Honestly, I'll be so real, yes. What do you need those, like, intricate horns for, bro? They're, like, on some reindeer shit, man. Actually, what do reindeer... Oh, my god. Oh, wait, I suppose for defensive measure, yes? But, like, you're an Elder Dragon. You are a destroyer. You don't need this. You don't need... You don't have the need for, like, defensive horns. right? We've seen horns adapted by like herbivores all the fucking time, bro. Or like I said, defensive measure. Of course, you need something, man. But like, yeah, I don't see why, you know, he would ever need horns. They're more of a like unless he's got some sort of rampaging rhino kind of fighting tactic to him. I don't know.
Not too sure what I think about it. It looks fundamentally cool, but
Yes.
I'm not really certain what purpose it serves.
See,
And
yeah.
even within the wacky designs of Frontier, this bone armor is really unique. I don't
Right?
think in a bad way, though. When he's
That's what I'm saying as well. It doesn't look bad. I'll be so real. It doesn't look bad. I already gave him an 11 out of 10 because the design is just so fucking cool to me. But yeah, I like ecologically, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I do not have a grasp of what's going on. Right? Because usually I try to make sense of things, but his adaptations are weird, man.
right in front of you and you see that pattern of bone-like structure coming up over him, the image is pretty intimidating.
What
I
man.
really like is his very understated color palette, to the point of him almost looking bland. He is just full body gray. Slightly different shades on his main body and his bone armor, but it's all gray. What keeps it from looking really boring is two things. One, the
fire?
somewhat wooden texture giving him this feeling of kind of being this long ago burnt tree. And two, his very plain gray colors allow his fire effects to
shine out really, yes.
flooding his body with flaming colors and allowing for almost no other clashing coloration to take away from the spectacle of his fire. It's a pretty smart choice if you ask me.
Honestly, man, I don't have a gripe about it. Right? Because, okay, let's say, man, I might have to draw this shit. Just imagine it, okay? Imagine whatever sword you have. Like, imagine a sword version of this guy. It's got these kind of horn-like guard. Let's say, imagine a great sword of some sort, right? And Monster Hunter great sword type shit. Imagine maybe something like the ore blade structure. Let's say it's got these horns for the guard, or something along those lines, or maybe even dual blades. Whatever. Imagine what you like, but something that's mostly gray and almost wood, somewhat ancient wood looking, like this white pale wood looking stuff that also looks like bone. Imagine that, but like in between some of the seams and cracks and gaps of it, you have this nice, very popping out, fiery looking, bursting at the seams type of thing. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be cool, right? It's just honestly fair enough. Oh my god.
The vaguely canine shape of his head, and although crazy horns aren't my favorite, I feel like what he has matches the wacky and ornate patterns and flow of the rest of his armor. I think I like this design more than I dislike it. It's certainly super different, and
I like it. Is it super different? Oh, fuck yes. But we're talking about see, there's a lot of things you could excuse when we start talking about Elder Dragons. Bro, it's an Elder Dragon. They're gonna look different. They're gonna look weird. Sometimes they're gonna look wacky. But for crying out loud, it's an Elder Dragon. So I don't sure, because like they rarely reproduce, right? And that's what makes them so somewhat rare-ish.
And though I don't know how practical it is necessarily, I do think it's pretty cool looking. He's a gigantic, volcanic, ceremonial tree demon dog dragon.
Yeah.
That is quite the wild string of descriptors to mash together, but that's pretty sure what I'm looking at. Jury's still out on the final opinion on his design, but man, when the armor is on full display and the fire is pouring off of him, it's a pretty memorable image.
I would say we need okay, you see those almost like bracer looking bone deposits on his forearms. I would almost kind of want to see that with he's doing other slam attacks. You know, lug your body Seriously, if you're this fucking big with like calcified parts that could literally burst at the seams, why not slam them against like something? And then boom, you literally almost have this sort of blast element to you in where you're hitting things, and as you hit it, it explodes on impact. Why not? That would be cool, wouldn't it? Oh my god. But yeah, I do agree with CR-Volcanic in where, like, other than my point about, like, this is the wrong place at the wrong time for him to be in the character's path in terms of progression, I do think that, slow as he is, he needs more life to him. And I mean life, not movement. And by life, I this is what am I doing, bro? Well, I'm just switching the words around. By life, I meant like more general movement, right? You can't just, because I see this often, and it's kind of a problem with the siege monsters, I suppose, and in where, like, okay, if you're the scale in where you're on some Zora Magdaros bullshit, sure, lug yourself around, don't basically don't make any moves that are like too crazy. You are like, bro, you're like a walking natural disaster. You don't need to be moving like like crazy, and plus that would just break Monster Hunter logic to some extent. But like if you're this big, you're the siege monster, but you're not. To me, he doesn't look that large, right? No, he's not that large. He could lug his body around a little bit more, right? He could make some slam attacks, make him do like make him charge with his cool horns, something, bro. Like, he looks cool, man. Oh my god, bring this guy back.
I feel a little bad for Kyo Aruboru. He was introduced into a game that didn't really fit him, beaten down by hunters who clearly outmatched him, and in the main series, we have other grandiose fiery giants like Agmazios, Zora Magdaros, and Geismagorm that have made it so that the mainline series doesn't really need a new giant fiery destruction dragon. For Kyo Aruboru to come back, he'd need...
But, hear me out. He is an Elder Dragon. He could fit in. Maybe, just maybe.
Something to help him stand apart. I still stand by my idea for him to melt down the fortress and its defenses as he walks. Maybe create this multi-level fortress for him to trounce through and incinerate as he gets closer to the end. Give him a feeling of being truly unstoppable. Make the tools of man look useless before him. If you've seen the 2019 Godzilla King of the Monsters movie, I'm kind of picturing something like the burning Godzilla scene where skyscrapers were melting into puddles just because Godzilla was standing near them. I think Kyo Aruboru could use something like that.
Sure.
Give him a real menace. But
yeah, give him some, not just fire, not just fiery, not just infernal, not just molten. No. Give him something blazing. Give him something scorching. Right? Make him melt things. Stone, make him melt stone. The very structures that we build stuff with, right? Make him melt those. If you really want to make him a siege monster. And he's already got the design down. I mean, I told you, like, he looks more, well, oriented towards demolition more than anything, right? But, like, if you're doing that, really orient him towards that. And plus, like, I did say this as well. To some extent, if you're gonna have literal explosions coming out of your limbs because they're bursting at the seams with this sort of raging fire, at that point, come on, just add a blast element to him. That would be cool. Like, if he's hitting you and then there's energy stored in the limbs, it'll explode, making it a much harder hit on you. So that, like, sure, maybe by then we could excuse the slightly slower movement and we could at least tweak that a little bit. But by then, he would still be a terrifying monster to come across. Because you never know, the limb you're attacking that has explosive properties that you're attempting to break. So like, okay, let's make this not store any energy. That could start moving. It could hit you. So that does add a sort of element of fear to it, which would be really cool. I also just generally like this monster. Oh my god, it's such a cool monster, bro.
As for what he is right now, I think I'll give Kiyoaruboru a 6 out of 10.
Oh man,
Nasu, the design is pretty wild, but
with some tweaks, like okay, like even just design wise, 11 out of 10. He looks awesome. He looks badass. He looks like an actual proper Elder Dragon. Because most of the time, Elder Dragons do fit a sort of stereotype of destructor, destroyer, demolitioner of some sorts, right? But this guy looks the part. He looks like a demolitionist, bro. So like, I've been saying this, right, for a time now. But you know, I really I need it. I need it. But yes, a few tweaks and 12 out of 10, bro. I need to see this guy.
think I like it, and the fight looks fun, but I don't think what is provided explores what this beast is truly capable
Yes,
of.
I agree.
Here, but I don't think Frontier was quite the right place for Kiyoaruboru, nor did it quite understand how to use him. He may have been a bit of a flop, but I hope he isn't lost to time.
I hope, because he's really cool. I'm sorry, like with genuine passion saying this, he's really cool. He is. He's really cool, bro. Because like I can say he's really cool all I want, but you guys are, you know, I've given you many points to state why he could be such a cool addition and not just another big fiery monster. No, he could be big blasty fiery monster. Big explosion, big slam, big boom, big cool. Right? Awesome. That would be sick. Such a curious monster as well. Especially for an Elder Dragon, right? Usually with Elder Dragons, you'll take any other fucking element other than fire. Yeah, he is kind of just standing around. It's a bit depressing. Oh my god. Nope, the theme is banging. Oh, that was good. Oh my god, I think I've seen this guy before. I think I've seen him from a separate video. Let me see, let me see. Isn't this that one with like almost bullshit arena covering attacks, if I remember? Oh my god, what are you? Are you like a mix between ice and fire? That's what, is that what I'm looking at?
Erzerion is a name that fills many a monster hunter with dread. For various reasons, be it his ridiculous fight, his contentious design, or a particular version of him that we will speak about later. Erzerion is a beast of fame and infamy alike. He is Frontier's 10th anniversary celebration monster, arriving in the game in 2017, and he was granted the title of Burning Zero Dragon. Despite clearly having Zenogre's skeleton, Erzerion is an Elder Dragon, one devoid of legend or myth surrounding him. He was discovered by accident atop an old tower, seemingly out of nowhere. As the name and design would suggest, Erzerion is a master of fire and ice. His prowess split not so subtly right down the middle. The right side of his body possesses an internal organ that produces and manipulates fire, and his left has the same, only for ice. The huge mane of fur, as well as some of the gaps in his scales, will glow with the corresponding power of these elements. However, should he overuse an element, he can lose control, and the half of his body that corresponds with said power will lose all color. The scales and fur turning to a saturation devoid gray. and he will temporarily be unable to wield that power until he can spark up that organ once again. You could probably count on one hand the amount of attacks Erzerion has that doesn't have elemental effects. The simple act of him running can leave bursts of ice and fire in the wake of his movements.
What
Swipes
the
of his
fuck?
claws can coat huge regions of the arena with Caltrop-esque ice traps. He has this awesome combo where he'll fire off a sweeping ice beam to try and freeze you to the floor.
A monster throwing caltrops was not in my... Okay, sure. Oh my god, that's cool.
Only to immediately follow up with a sweeping fire beam to sear you to the bone while you're stuck. A personal favorite is when he shoots out a huge amount of ice in front of him before charging up a miniature sun in his right paw and slamming the flame sphere down, causing the ice to explode.
Oh, see, that goes stupid.
Creating a dual element detonation. He can reposition by leaping up into the air and covering his escape by dropping icicles in his path. And of course, a monster of this caliber has a second phase, releasing torrents of fire and ice before rallying himself for a no-holds-barred onslaught.
Okay, let me see it. What is he doing? Whoa. Oh, that's cool. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's sick. Oh, wow. Oh my god. He's actually sweeping with both elements. That's insane.
Now livid,
Erzerion
pumps out his elements at higher levels, so much so that burning steam and frozen vapor pour out of his body. He increases the speed of his twin beam combo. He can slam the ground before firing off a torrent of icicles. His paw slams send out explosions of ice and fire in several directions all around him.
Insane.
He has a full arena supernova attack, where he generates a huge ball of blended ice and fire before he detonates the sphere, which coats the ground in flame and sends ice raining down. He's got this great-looking combo where he strikes with one paw, strikes with a second, swipes you up into the air with its tail, and incinerates what's left of you with a ball of fire.
See, bro, he pulling out the Brawlhalla stops. What the fuck? Combos is crazy.
Additionally, some of his attacks from his previous phases have increased blast radiuses, or additional follow-ups and elemental discharges. To say this fight looks wild would be an
See, what I like is when monsters do combos. Like, do I like it if I'm experiencing it? Fuck no! Have you seen me with Anjanath? But, like, do I like the concept of it? Absolutely. Because, like, that does show a sort of combative intelligence that your typical monster wouldn't just have. Right? It wouldn't just have that. But when it can, like, chain attacks on you, it's like, oh yeah, this motherfucker knows what he's doing. Oh shit, right? Because you're gaining a sort of, oh shit, he's got a higher intelligence. Because usually a monster's like attacks will be like, you know, take this. And it's one swipe, whatever, and they gotta recover. Take this, or maybe they do 2 bites or whatever. And again, that's cool. That's cool for like typical monsters, and hey, fair enough, right? For like lower intelligence monsters. But when they start doing shit like combos, bro, like they can use an element. Okay, that's fine. That's still a little simple-minded, but it's something, right? They're armed with elemental prowess. But when it comes to this, oh my god. Pulling off combos, and then he's using this fucking flaming sphere. Like, so far, I'm seeing him, he using this fucking shit like a Rasengan or some shit. Like, dude, oh my god, like, this is, see, like, he generates this, like, ball of fire in his hand, and you tell me he slams it down, or, like, combos you with it? Dog, this shit is a Rasengan. What the fuck?
Statement. The immense amount of explosions, icicles, and fireballs look grueling. It's definitely a bit more intense than I think a mainline Monster Hunter would dish out. More than anything, I think the main series Erzerion would likely have the blast radiuses of his attacks reduced, and with that change, he'd probably be a bit more balanced for the modern regular game.
For sure, because like so far, what I see is like some of his attacks look ridiculous. Look at this fucking, look at him mid attack on our screen right now. We can't see anything.
Honestly, I think it's just the volume of his attacks that make him so ridiculous.
Insane.
More than anything, he specifically does. His actual moveset is quite awesome to look at. What
Honestly,
I really appreciate is that he has quite a few moves that combine his elements together. There's a bit more ingenuity here than I was expecting. I love that he will lock opponents down with his ice, only to then follow up with a hit from his fire. I love that he'll set up fields of ice only to detonate them with flame. There is some good cooperation here between his two powers, and I'd love to see even more of this if Erizarion was ever to return. Now, for his design. This design could work, but as it is right now in game,
it's a bit flashy.
It doesn't quite work for me. And I specifically want to preface in game, because there is artwork that shows what Erizarion could look like with the proper technology.
Okay.
This official promo art for Erizarion looks so much better
than
his in-game model. Here's why. Number one, his
oh my god, yes. Like a black head with like, and then when it runs down to his arms, that's when the difference starts. Oh my god, give it to me. Oh my goodness, bro.
Game fur doesn't look great. The fur effects and the color choice both leave something to be desired. The mane itself is a very stiff, singular, solid object, and when it's flared up with the elements, the colors kind of look like 7-Eleven slushies.
Dude, that isn't... Oh my god. You know, nah. Shout out CR-Volcanic, man. So, dude, some of his descriptions are just like insanely apt. And by apt, I mean like it's appropriate to what we're looking at. It does look like a sort of slushy that just comes from that convenience store. Oh my god.
They are enormously crazy neon blue and orange. So, what winds up happening is that the mane almost has a kind of toy-like quality, and yes, this is likely an issue born of the limitations of the engine being used. Sure. I 100% concede to that. That's why I don't think this is a fundamentally bad design. Next is the color choice used for when his elemental colors aren't active. He has a lot of very, very similar gray. Whereas Kyo Aruboru, who we just talked about, had some slight variation in his shades of gray, with this little twinge of red or brown mixed in here and there, and some very, very finely detailed texture.
Yeah, there's some texturing to him, and some of it ends up almost looking like wood, from what we saw, right, and what was said as well. And to that point, like, okay, there's clear variance. The variance, is that a word? There's clear variables to what he looks like, right? But most of this time, this one just looks a little dull, and the colorations are like a bit too bright.
Erizarion has almost kind of an unpainted feel to him. He has a lot of the same very basic gray color. Yeah. He's supposed to have metallic scales, but they aren't really painted in a way that looks super...
My culture is not your costume, bro. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just referencing like Kushala Daora.
Super metallic. The other thing I don't quite love is how huge, towering, and heavy his horns look. I like the spiral design and how the elements bleed into them, but they seem really a little bit disproportionate to the body. Now, I read that Erizarion came out a bit before he was ready, that the developers could have put a little bit more effort into the face, I think is what was said, if they had the time. So, I think some of the lacking texture work, some of the lacking color, and just a feeling of not fully being realized is partially due to time constraints and
I can see that.
Majorly due to engine limitations. I think Erizarion is a victim of being created for a game that couldn't handle him. I will once again return your attention to this official promo art. Look how good this looks.
Yes.
The metallic scales look better painted.
Yeah, it looks darker. It looks metallic. Like, is it black? Because the thing is with metal stuff, right, is the iron or whatever metallicness of it, you can choose a darker hue. That's fair. And obviously, you know, it gets reflective. I thought these were just scales, to be honest with you. But it's amazing because instead of it like mainly being on his head, right? Like what we saw, it's mostly running down his arms and his horns, which is great. I need it to be more prominent like that, but maybe slightly on that chest area, bleeding out just a tad bit, right? And it's oh my god, come on, it could have been so awesome, bro.
There's a lot of dark coloration in between the
Yep.
scales to create some contrast and let the blues and the reds pop. His horns look much more proportionate to his body, and look how good the fur looks. How the color varies a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Flow and look like individual objects.
Actually, not I'm saying. I didn't observe that. Fair.
Singular entity. This is what Erizarion is meant to be, and I want him to get that second chance because I think he deserves to be built in a game that can handle the vision behind him and allow him to look like this. Like Kyoaruboru, I believe that Erizarion is a great creation of amazing promise born into a game that couldn't do what he needed it to do. I think a second chance is badly needed here. Give him a slight dial down in explosion size, a major graphical overhaul to match the intricacy of his design, a little bit of proportion correction, a little bit of color correction, and I think Erizarion could absolutely be a starring monster. His fight
he would bang out.
His elemental combinations look engaging. He's yet another unconventional Elder Dragon.
Oh, that's amazing. I just realized he would have adapted combos even as an animal, right? We treat them like animals. Like, obviously, these are living beings, yes? Even if it's like an Elder Dragon. Of course, he would almost like kind of learn this sort of comboing thing. No fucking wonder he's working with two elements that aren't combined into one. This is really cool. Oh my god.
And dude, his music is gorgeous. The first phase has this kind of majestic galloping pace and this beautiful violin soloist section that has stuck in my mind for a very long time. And then the second phase has this strong percussion and high-intensity string section that goes absolutely wild, perfectly matching the fight's tempo and intensity. The potential of Erizarion is yet to be fully realized, and for that, I can't give him full marks, but I will give him an 8 out of 10 for wanting to see him in the main series.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps! Nah, I just heard it as well. Listen. Oh my god. Oh my god! The little like dropping of the I can't describe it. I don't know musical terms, bro. But like still, oh my god. Crescendo, is that what they call it when it's dropping? Oh, whatever. What's the? Oh my god, man! That music is peak. Oh my god, my ears, bro. You guys are eating good today. My god, we've been recording for like 2 hours 10 minutes. Listen to it, bro. Oh my god! Bro. Oh!
Boga Badorum.
No. Oh my god, we're not even done with the video yet. Oh my god! We've got what? 40 minutes to go! Guys, please. Do me a favor, bro. Like I've been sat here, mind you, I haven't ate yet. I thought this would just be a quick video, but my yip yaps and the fucking okay, whatever, you get it. But please, I will say I don't say this a lot, maybe because people forget, and hey, fair enough. If you do want more of this, and if you want to support me, please do drop a subscribe. So when so I can actually like have you guys pinged when I upload something new, because I do see a lot of people like coming to my channel because they kind of love the like long form content. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, bro. I'm glad you guys are supporting me, and I'm super grateful for it. So hey, subscribe if you want notifications and stuff like that, and also just sub if you generally want to support me. I appreciate it, bro. But yeah, my God, you guys are eating good today, bro. It's been 2 hours. We got 40 minutes left. Look at this. Oh my God. 3 hours. We're at like three. Let's say let's round it off. 340. Right. Oh, 19. 340. Yeah. There is like 20 minutes more. Oh my God. Oh, let's get through this. No, actually 40 minutes. Wow. All right. Oh my God. Oh, I was gonna say that's a cool, great sword, but it's not. Who's this guy? Okay. He's weird looking. I will admit, he's weird looking to me. Very weird looking. Wow.
The final unique monster added to Monster Hunter Frontier, a creature introduced in the game's waning months. An enormous, blast-wielding, four-legged and wingless...
I'm sorry, blast-wielding? Tell me more, I'm interested.
Wyvern. He is the natural predator of Gasura Bazura, and that
really? Okay.
Should speak to what a powerhouse he is.
Oh yes.
Bogabadorumu has been named the explosive Mist Wyvern, and was granted that title due to the fact that his internal organs lack the ability to properly absorb gases within him. So, he instead possesses a series of tubes on his head, back, forelimbs, and tail that can properly release the gases from his body. These gases are, of course, enormously flammable, so gnashes of his teeth and claws can ignite sparks that cause the gas to explode, allowing him to turn this abnormal bodily process into a defensive mechanism. His enormously flabby and layered hide serves as a bit of a shock absorber that protects him from his own close proximity explosions. He's kinda like a giant, flabby blue alligator Teostra. This makes up the brunt of Bogabadorumu's game plan. That and the crushing weight of his enormous bulk. His is not the most elaborate moveset, but it is quite visually stunning. He can surround his entire body in gases and detonate it to batter away close proximity hunters.
Insane.
He can bring his paw crashing down with a backing massive detonation behind it. He can plunge his tail into the earth to flood the underground with explosive gases, causing scattered explosions. He can sweep his paw across the ground and set off a chained string of detonations behind it. He can dig underground and use his explosions to come rocketing back to the surface.
Damn.
He can add explosive effects to his roars and his body slams and his charges.
What the fuck?
Every day is the 4th of July when Bogabadorumu is mad.
Yep.
And I have to say, for a bit of a one-track fight, it's quite beautiful to look at. The swirling blue mist with lingering,
that does look really cool.
Yellow mixed in, soon to detonate into a gorgeous amalgamation of blues and violets and reds and yellows and oranges. It's a fun fight to just watch, but Bogabadorumu was constructed with the purpose to...
I like how most of the time, basically, when you fight this guy, most of it is just boom! Boom! We get 5 big booms.
Be aggravating, as he was meant to be a challenge for the brand new magnet spike weapon, which is a weapon so damn good that it made a lot of other weapons pretty pointless in Frontier at the end of its life cycle. An additional fun fact, though we haven't talked about them yet, is that Bogabadorumu is his own Zenith monster. Part way during the fight, he will reveal the overdeveloped nature of his forelimbs and increase the intensity of the fight, upping his explosive power. Fun fact, you can cut off his ability to create some explosions if you wound the tubes he uses to fire them off.
Oh wow, okay.
Bogabadarumu's got one funky looking design. He's rather gigantic, covered in flabby skin, and has blue tubes sticking out all over him. Has two, I guess, I don't know what I'd call this, chunks of coral reef sticking out of his back. He's got a squid
I do not know
tail. He's got kind of a crocodilian facial structure with big saggy bloodhound skin flaps coming out of his face.
Like,
he's got
teeth.
Kind of a beer guts, and he's got a blue gem looking thing sticking out of his forehead. His claws are utterly massive, and his forelimbs glow blue and start to grow tubes during the fight. What a wonderfully absolute mess.
Yes, actually, yeah.
There's a bit of a texture inconsistency between the sleeker tail and forelimbs, the flabby face and belly, and the scaly back, but as a package, he kind of works. I don't know how,
honestly.
but he's just really charming. For some ungodly reason, even with the pinkish dorsal plates coming out of the steely blue body, it just works for some reason.
I don't know why it does, but it actually does.
Feel cohesive. Am I just crazy? Do I have no taste? I don't know.
No, that's like I can't blame you. But like, this is the magic of Monster Hunter, bro. They will come out some of the weirdest shit ever, bro. Like, and it just works. It works. It works. It works.
I just like the look. It's so distinct, so cool and dorky and threatening and funny looking.
Yeah.
Bogobadorumu is a fittingly charming, destructive, and odd final original monster for a charming, balls to the wall, and quirky Monster Hunter game. There's not too much to him. He's mostly an explosion factory, and in mainline Monster Hunter, he'd probably be another opponent.
Explosion factor. Again, very apt description, yes.
That would get toned down a bit. But he's a cool creation, and appropriately wacky beginning for the end of Frontier. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 for wanting to see him in the main series. So that's every original monster creation in Frontier.
I'll give him like an 8. Like, he's really cool. I want to see big explosion monsters. That's really cool. I mean, the one I've seen that was really awesome to me was, well, this is gonna sound biased because it is, Devil Joe's, like, you know that one move where he just blasts the ground with like a dragon element, and then like it explodes. That one is really sick.
We're just about done. We have a few variation categories to cover, and then we're gonna bring it home.
Okay, let's do this. Pretty cool theme. Nothing crazy. Okay, that's cool.
Berserk Laviente.
Oh boy, I've heard much about you. Dude, he's fucking gigantic. Oh my god.
We only have one variant to cover before we get to the Frontier exclusive categories of monster variations, and our sole monster of interest is the Berserk Laviente, the third and most powerful version of the world-eating serpent. He was introduced in G9 at the same time as Torridcless and Toa Tessicatora. Of the three, I'd say he possessed the coolest color scheme. Dark gray, near black scales, smears of green-yellow moss across the whole body, and blue-green webbing between his sails and fins. He is the most direct confrontation between the hunters and Laviente. He is coiled around a battle arena beneath the island where you fought the other two serpents. His is yet another siege fight, this one allowing up to 32 hunters to participate, with 7 slaying teams and 1 support team. The support team would fire siege weapons from afar, while the slaying teams would fight Laviente directly in separate instances. This cinematic spectacle of Berserk Laviente's battle was unmatched by anything before or after it, and he actually implements a fair bit of the terrain manipulation and destruction that I said I would have loved the regular Laviente to possess. The caverns beneath the island house many natural weapons for Berserk Laviente to use. He can force stalactites to come crashing down from the ceiling. He can cause the lava in these underground caves to erupt into awe-inspiring walls of magma simply by slamming his body down, enveloping damn near the entire cavern in molten death. and probably the single coolest attack in the game, maybe in all of Monster Hunter. He will swipe his tail through an underground lake to create giant waves and bursts of water that on hit can send hunters hundreds of feet into the air.
Oh my god.
Your camera will pan down to reveal Laviente slithering beneath you and rising
That's
up to
insane.
snap you out of the air
Oh
and devour you whole, including every Monster Hunter game there is. I think this is among the...
Oh my god, he's actually got a finisher. That's insane. I mean, yeah, unless you got that fucking bow, that magnetic thing, I'm sorry, you are free eats. Like, if you're in midair.
Top 5 most amazing attacks out there. It is so well animated, so cool to look at. He also possesses the ability to generate party-wiping fireballs and emit
Jesus
huge
Christ.
paralytic shocks across his whole body. To defeat Laviente, teams would need to put out massive damage, run up his body to get to weak points, break his parts, and destroy these green crystalline structures across his body. Doing so would force prolonged knockdown. Minus the enormous amount of paralysis, which of course can be mitigated with skills, Berserk Laviente looks like one of the greatest and most engaging monster fights out there. And if not him specifically, I think a lot of his mechanics should be brought into mainline Monster Hunter and granted to the base Laviente to use.
Fuck yeah.
I absolutely would want to be devoured by a world-eating serpent in full HD.
What do you mean by that? Nah, fair enough. That would be a spectacle, my god.
I could see him being a title update monster in a game that had Laviente in it, possibly. I'll give Berserk Laviente a 9 out of 10 for wanting to see him implemented.
He's pretty cool.
At least in
as a siege monster, you don't get a lot of those. I'll give him a 10 out of 10. That would be really cool to see.
Some form in the main series.
Come on. Oh, I like the theme as well, man. Listen to it, bro. Let's break it down a little bit, right? You get this stuff right here. You get this stuff here, and where, like, just listen.
Possibly, I'll give Berserk Laviente a 9 out of 10 for wanting to see him implemented, at least in some form, in the main series.
It is boom, 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 boom. You get this very looming, almost like this looming tune here, because obviously Berserk Laviente is fucking huge. He will loom over you no matter where he is. He's gonna loom over you, bro. He's gigantic. You're like what? I don't know. You're like an extremely tiny fraction of his size, bro. He's like, I don't know. I can't really like times it. Like, he's like 1,000 of you or more. Like, come on. But then you get to kind of the part where you are actively participating in killing this Berserk Laviente, and then you get the... Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, you get the more rush part for like the hunter. Like, you kind of have this let's do this type of theme after the looming presence of the Laviente, right? You get this thing like and when you're doing that shit, you're kind of getting the hunters like into the groove of, you know, let's fucking do this thing. Let's kill this big looming siege monster. It's really cool, like music structure, bro. It's amazing, man. Fuck yes. And I'm sorry, it is fucking epic. It is cool. You're banging out with this absolutely gigantic monster with a group of people, bro. He's gigantic, bro. Uh-oh. Oh my god, he's getting pumped. Where is he firing that fireball? I'm scared. I'm scared for the fucking hunter, bro. Do you attack him while he's charging them? Okay. You might be cooked. Would... Oh, he got stunned. Okay. Again, the music. Oh my god, my poor ears. It's on full volume, but still, the music is just absolutely banging. I love it. You have these themes you have these hopeful themes, right? In where you kind of have this like uprising theme to it, like this. Hear those tones? You have this heroic battle theme, bro. You have it. But then right? You get this part. Here we go. You get this rising. When you get that part, I love it because it's mixing both the vigorous efforts of the hunters that are trying to take down this Berserk Laviente, this big ass siege monster, right? It's combining through the music. It's combining your efforts along with the absolute looming presence and threat that Berserk Laviente is. It's... Oh, come on! Tell me it's not gas! Let's bang out right now! Oh my god.
Exotic species.
Ooh,
okay, so we have 3 categories.
Ooh, is that a Devil Joe? I like it. Let me hear about it.
To go through in bulk, and we're starting with exotic species. The
Okay.
concept of exotics was implemented in G8, and
Is
essentially...
Is that what I think it is? What's it called again? Magala something.
The idea was to bring in some monsters from the 3rd and 4th generations of main series Monster Hunter and pump them up to frontier levels of insanity. The monsters given this treatment were Zinogre, Deviljho, Brachydios, Barioth, Savage Deviljho, Uragan, Nargacuga, Stygian Zinogre, Gormagala, Shigaru Magala, Amatsu, and Soregios. If you've been paying attention to this video, then it is needless to say that these monsters got ridiculous. New moves, huge elemental bursts, and their gimmicks escalated to the highest thresholds. For the most part, they looked exactly the same as they did in the main series, with new moves. However, those introduced during Frontier Z, namely Gore, Shigaru, and Amatsu, got some pretty crazy-looking new superpowered forms. Whilst Soregios and Stygian Zinogre did get some color changes as well. Amatsu got a draconic rage mode, where his formerly white fins turn into a mixture of reds and oranges, browns, and black. His water and wind attacks got absolutely ridiculous, and he was able to infuse the dragon element into his stormy attacks. Exotic Gore and...
Bro, why is it buffering? Are we good? Are we good? Okay, let's continue.
Exotic Gore and Shigaru Magala both got wild transformations that resulted in elongation of their horns, more butterfly-esque wing patterns. These new forms were called True Frenzy Mode. And yes, they did bring the Frenzy Virus status with them into Frontier. An extra detail about the exotic monsters is that wielding any of their weapons granted the speed-eating skill for free, and wearing one piece of the exotic armor fully activated a skill corresponding with that monster. The exotic monsters are a concept that will very, very likely stay solely sequestered in Frontier. The whole point of the gimmick was that these monsters were exotic to the Frontier region. Mainline monsters aren't going to be exotic to their own homelands.
So it's kind of gate-kept here. Fair enough. This is the fantastical land of absolute BS. And I love it.
And the exotic gimmick isn't really reversible because most Frontier monsters are likely going to have some kind of toned down, actually, to work in the mainline games rather than be scaled up. They took the idea in some cool directions, but it's very much a category built solely for Frontier.
Oh, that's really sick.
Musos, or peerless individuals, or extreme individuals. 3 titles, same concept.
Okay.
These were the single greatest challenges that Frontier had to offer. The most dangerous, the most damaging, the most ludicrous, the most skill required, the most exclusive fights in Frontier, and all of Monster Hunter. The core concept was to take a monster and create, lore-wise,
just crank it up.
One singular individual that stood atop everything their entire species could ever hope to manifest.
Damn!
One peerless, god-level individual to trounce all others of their kind. Now, in game terms, you could hunt these monsters as much as you wanted, but that was their design concept. Muso monsters had 2 versions for their quests.
That's
Repel
really cool.
and True Slay. Repel quests were a bit more accessible, still wild, but much more manageable to the average player who had endgame gear. The True Slay quests were reserved for the masters of Frontier, players who had perfected their gameplay and their sets. The True Slay Musos had mountainous health pools, damage so high that nearly every attack could one-shot, blistering speed, wild attacks, and only 10-minute clear times. You had
10 minutes!
Perfect to beat some of these
quests.
Oh
my god!
On the roster, we have Starving Deviljho, a golden scale Deviljho that can only be fought in pairs, had massive fangs,
that's awesome.
And it pumps the dragon element into damn near every single one of his physical attacks.
Fuck yes!
Zinogre, a white-scaled Zinogre that can move so fast that it appears to teleport and puts out enormous bugs at a time. Thirsty Pariapuria, a version of Pariapuria
horrifying
with vastly
looking,
enhanced aggression, more focus on fighting, and multiple one-shot attacks.
Damn!
Ruler Guanzorumu, a pale-scaled version of the Emperor Conqueror Dragon with burning wings that breathes golden fire, composed of a blend of fire and dragon element. Blinking Nargacuga, a red and white Nargacuga that moves so quickly that it leaves lingering after images and the ability to send its tail spikes raining down in rings around him. A move that Lucent Nargacuga would make his own in Sunbreak. Mysterious Miru, a Miru that maintains his various transformations longer and added extra attacks to each one of his forms. Burning, freezing...
Okay, that's nothing too crazy. Fair enough.
Erizerion, the infamous Erizerion of legend. He has enormously heightened speed, greater explosions, and amped up versions of Fire and Ice Blight. Burning, freezing Erizerion was not defeated solo until 9 months after his introduction.
Holy fuck.
9 months.
Bro, someone had to be pregnant during that time. I'm kidding. I'm just making a reference on... I'm just talking about the 9 months gap, but that's insane.
Arrogant Duremudira, a pale-scaled iteration of the dragon who kept his corrupted poison, but swapped his ice for arcing purple lightning. He was apparently made so fast that his animations were a bit janky and had unreliable dodge windows. Bombardier,
oh my god!
Rumu, a faster version of the monster with a handful of new explosive attacks. And lastly, the final monster of all Frontier, Sparkling Zeruryusu. Fitting that the end was heralded in by Rathalos, or a superpowered version of his relative.
That's really sick.
His sapphire crystals exchanged for ruby crystals. He doesn't have the intricate crystal forms, but he has light shields, precision lasers, fast combos, and a few moves from Unknown, as well as the ability to come rocketing in like a red comet, similarly to
Fuck yes.
Will we ever see these monsters again?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll get something akin to variants that...
yeah, maybe, but like... this is teetering on the like, okay, you're doing way too much. Like, you know, zone. But at least, you know, you're getting a... you could... I mean, you can still potentially get it. It would just have to be kind of toned down. Because this is crazy stuff, bro.
Share names with these monsters, but are we ever going to see the Musos in mainline Monster Hunter? No. They require a level of perfection that the mainline games don't ask for. They are beyond ridiculous. And even partially responsible for the iffy perception Frontier has among some Westerners. Teleporting thousand spike Nargacugas, golden double Deviljhos, the apocalyptic elemental light show of Erizerion. It's a lot to take in. Looks incredibly wild and far beyond anything that regular Monster Hunter has ever really tried to do.
Yep.
And likely will never get to these levels. There's a chance that we may see monsters one day with these names and these designs, but the true Musos will likely stay forever in the endgame content of this crazy MMO.
For sure. I don't doubt that. Holy. The Starving Devil Joe sounds cool though. That's a fucking awesome concept. Well, or actual monster.
Zenith monsters. Although not quite as insane as the Musos, the Zenith monsters were the pride, joy, and namesake of Monster Hunter Frontier Z.
Really?
They were the evolution of hardcore and supremacy monsters of lower level Frontier. Taking the concept of altering a monster's design, giving them a wild moveset, and making them much more dangerous, and pushing that to a whole new extreme.
Damn.
Their core concept was that a monster was taken, had a singular body part greatly overdeveloped and enhanced.
Oh, wow,
and if they did any kind of element or blight, they were given a Zenith version of that status effect.
Holy!
Additionally, they each possessed what are referred to as Zenith Roars, Zenith Quakes, and Zenith Wind Pressure. Essentially meaning that to negate these effects from Zenith monsters, you had to elevate these defensive skills to an extra level beyond what they could normally get to. On top of that, Zenith monsters had 4 levels of quest. 1-star Zeniths at G rank 200, 2-star at G rank 400, 3 at 600, and 4 at 800. Each tier had its own version of rewards and monster points, as well as continuously growing stats. You had...
Hold on, I'm sorry, are you watching his health go down? Look at this shit! Oh my god! Watch his health! Watch his health!
3 at 600, and 4 at 800. Each tier had its own version of rewards and monster parts, as well as continuously growing stats.
Holy shit!
You had to do a ton of grinding to max out their equipment. The list of Zeniths and their overdeveloped body parts are as follows. The beak of Hypnocatrice, the wings of Torridcless, the fins of Gasura Bazura, the tail of Giarugu, the tail crystal of Akura Vashimu, the claws of Daimyo Hermitar, the claws of...
Who is this little guy? What? Is it Buffer?
Zamuza, the arms of Blangonga, the mane of Midogaron, the horns of Doragirosu, the horn of Anoru Patisu, the wings of Rathalos, the horn of Espinas, the back of Gravios, the spikes of Kiki, the jaws of Kezu, the claws of Tigrex, the tongue of Barlagawal, the fangs of Plesioth, the head of Harudomurugu, the tail of Inagami, and the horns of Rukodora. And halfway through the fight, Bogabadorumu became a Zenith with his overdeveloped forelimbs. And now, for the effects of the Extreme Blights. Extreme Fire Blight would reduce your maximum health bar at a rapid rate.
Yeah, that's insane to watch.
Blight further reduce stamina recovery speed. Extreme Ice Blight can reduce stamina to 0 and then proceed to freeze the hunter solid. Frostbitten status that was introduced earlier on in the game. Extreme Dragon Blight will prevent healing from any outside source, such as life powder, and if healing is attempted with items like potions, the hunter will suffer damage equivalent to what they would have healed. And
that's insane.
Best for last in terms of elements, Extreme Thunder Blight does nothing upon first impact. However, if you are struck by Extreme Thunder again, your hunter, and I mean this quite literally, will collapse, enter cardiac arrest.
What the fuck?
And
okay, yeah, let's just had a heart attack, bro.
Die if they are not resuscitated. Yeah, Zenith monsters are doing some spooky. Extreme poison cannot be cured by normal antidotes, and it deals damage that scales with the monster's level. The only way...
Dude, some of these Zenith monsters, like their blight effects as well, remind me of like that one. I don't know if it's a stop sign or it's a whatever. It was a shit post, but it was fucking hilarious. It's like, do not park here or you will be melted and crushed. Like, okay, bro, I will. I won't park here, bro. What the fuck? Like, holy shit, they're actually doing too
The
much.
curate is to pick up items dropped by
But then again, this is a test of your skill, I suppose.
Zenith poison inflicting monsters. Extreme paralysis causes lasting aftershocks after the initial paralysis wears off, meaning that for a period of time you can have attack or item animations cancelled by being jolted with electricity. And finally,
That's bullshit.
The status is extreme sleep causes instant sleep, no stumbling around. And if you're facing Zenith Hypnocatrice, he will begin to sing a song of nightmares that feels so real that you automatically die. So that
Are you serious?
that's what you'll be dealing with against this lovely entourage of absolute psychopaths.
Yep.
Admittedly, Zenith designs are definitely where a lot of monsters get kind of too crazy.
Yeah.
A few of them look pretty cool, like Daimyo Hermitar,
sure.
Gonga, Doragirosu, Rathalos, and Rukadiora. Several of them are just straight up visual downgrades, like Torridcless, Kezu, Tigrex, Barlagawal, and Harudo Marugu and Inagami. And I question how a few of them could ever function. How does Giarugu lift that tail? How do Anoru Patisu and Espinas see? How does Kyujikiki move? How does Plesioth eat? What happened with Gravios' spine? There's a hole in his chest that explodes out into a hole in his back, like he got shot in the gut with a cannonball. Where's his spine?
Is he good?
Just looking at this image.
Honestly,
There's a lot of trying to improve on perfection here, and it's done in ways that are needlessly over the top. If anything is to be taken from the Zenith,
honestly, the best way I can describe it is it's already good, but now you're just subtracting from it.
I think it should be their extreme blights. I think a perfect way to take lower game monsters and make them much more powerful would be to approach the designs like the hardcores, minor little touch-ups and changes, and carry over the Zenith blights and perhaps the Zenith roars, winds, and quakes. Some of these designs are just good enough that I think you could actually bring them over, like Zenith Rathalos, but Anoru Patisu's gonna swing his head once and snap his neck. There's also some fun ideas in this grab bag of monster evolutions. I think Harudo Marugu's face looks ugly as all sin in his Zenith form, but he has a huge new assortment of brand new Liquid Mercury attacks, like machine gun rapid fire shots, more spikes, and boomerang-esque projectiles. Zenith Blangonga can roll you up in a giant snowball that sends you flying and does consistent damage until you either crash into a wall or die. Zenith Taiken Zamuza can force you out of the battle by uppercutting you out of his cave. Zenith Madogaron has even more warping abilities, and this is just a couple of examples from some of the nutty and inventive that Zeniths can do. If the developers ever wanted to reinstate Zenith monsters, I honestly think they should do a little bit of cherry picking. Keep some mechanics, lose others, keep some designs, lose others. There's a lot of really good stuff in here, and a couple of questionable choices, too. Another idea might be to blend the Zenith concept in with the Deviant monsters, as they share a lot of similarities in design concept and quest structure. The Zeniths should absolutely be restored in some way, shape, or form. There's just too much good stuff here to get rid of altogether.
As I say with most things about Monster Hunter, why would you guys leave this behind? This is really cool shit.
Is that it?
Is that it? What the fuck is this? Don't let me get a Zenith version of this guy. Why is this so fire right now? What is happening, bro? Oh! What was that? Don't tell me we get a... No! No fucking way. Dude, he's got like goat horns. Oh, you ugly motherfuckers. Dude, who are these guys?
Did you really think I forgot about him? Oh yes, Fatalis. Fell god of monsters. Dark lord of the kingdom of cinders. The dragon of legend. The nameless one. Hunter of man. The black dragon. And the one
Hunter of
feared
man.
by all.
My god.
As well as his two brothers, do indeed have versions in Frontier.
Holy
Fatalis
shit.
and Crimson Fatalis are both Conquest War monsters. The second two, after Shantien and Disifuroa. And White Fatalis is a unique experience. A beast that can only be fought on the 10th level of the Hunter's Road. A game mechanic
oh my god, that's a huge ball.
Frontier Z that had you fight an unending gauntlet of monsters to get better and better rewards as you progressed. None of these three are Frontier's most powerful challenge simply because they aren't Musos, but all three are cataclysmically powerful, and gameplay doesn't trump lore. These are the amped up versions of Monster Hunter's strongest dragon. Fatalis can be fought in
Holy
Castle
fuck.
Stray.
Oh my god.
He has two new sets of horns on his head and streaks of blue on his wings, chest, horns, and tail. Additionally, there just so happens to be a gigantic swirling churning star of dragon energy hovering above the castle. Fatalis has full control over the sphere and will absolutely weaponize it against you.
Yep, of course.
This includes, I don't know, dropping it on you.
Great.
Throws a dragon star at you. Only.
See, this is where I'm gonna stop you, bro. Dude, this is like, I'm saying, this is like Terraria levels of bullshit. Let's just, sure, you wanna fight? I'll just throw a star at you. Here you go. Really? Really?
Way to survive this is to run to the other side of the castle that isn't getting obliterated.
Yep.
When injured, bolts of dragon energy fire from Fatalis' body and enhance his attacks. When he gets absolutely livid, though, black and blue flames start pouring out of his body, enveloping his chest, wings, face, and claws. Gets fucking weird from here on out now. He makes giant spheres in the air that shoot lasers. He's got gigantic hyper lasers. He makes dragon fire light swords with his hands and swings them at you.
See, no. No. I'm not, no. We're getting to like, you know, like Flowey fight that got really popular? The Omega Flowey, was it called? This is that for Monster Hunter. This is that. This is the Omega Flowey for you guys. What the fuck is this?
He can fake his own death, drop his star on himself, and then just get back up afterwards. And if that wasn't enough,
bullshit.
If somehow that wasn't wild enough,
of course,
there's an old legend that those who wear Fatalis armor get possessed by him. Well, that can actually happen now. There's a skill.
Are you fucking kidding me?
On his armor that revives you when you die, gives you super armor and some maxed out skills while your health gradually decreases back down and you
Holy shit.
Look, Iceborne Fatalis was god tier. Okay, we can all agree on that. It's one of the great video game encounters of all time. But could Fatalis stand to benefit from a Dragon Star, Ghostfire, and weirdo freak spooky dragon powers?
I don't know, bro.
Yes.
Sure,
yes, he absolutely could.
Maybe.
Maybe you don't have to put these abilities on regular Fatalis. Admittedly, these additions do take away from his aesthetic as the quintessential European fire-breathing dragon.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Maybe make an homage to this called, I don't know, Dark Star Fatalis or something.
That would be gas.
I don't care. I just want it.
See, but that's cool, but you don't take away from the original one. Should you replace that with this, it would just okay. Now he's just in cosmic scales. It's cosmic scaling. It's cosmic astral levels of power, It's just not Monster Hunter at that point anymore. Who the fuck is this? Crimson Fatalis? Oh, definitely. I see that chest.
You fight Conquest War Crimson Fatalis in hell.
Oh my god. You're literally in hell.
Not kidding. You fight him on a plateau in the core of a volcano, surrounded by nothing but a lake of magma. Yep. He is a godly wielder of the fire element. Every exhale unleashes a torrent of flame hotter than any other creature could hope to produce. Even swipes of his tail can conjure hellish infernos.
Oh,
He'll
great.
make solid use of his arena, often flying down into the lake of fire where he can't be reached and tossing huge magma balls up onto the plateau. Additionally, he will purposefully sink parts of the plateau down into the lava, making the arena smaller and smaller as the fight ramps in danger levels. Oh, and if you can't get off a platform while it falls into the lava,
you're dead.
You're dead. When angered,
I'm not even surprised at this point. We're talking about Frontier, bro. You're dead.
Crimson Fatalis is able to create an amazing display by lifting the lake of fire dozens of feet up into the air, showcasing his mastery of the fire element.
Of course he does.
He doesn't really do much with it, but it looks sick as Crimson has some cool attacks. And I think what Frontier...
Wait, I did not even catch the action. What does he do?
Platform while it falls ramps in danger levels.
Let me hear it.
And if you can't get off a platform while it falls into the lava, you're dead. When angered, Crimson Fatalis is able to create an amazing display by lifting the lake of fire dozens of feet up into the air, showcasing his mastery of the fire element.
Oh, okay.
Would be far more applicable to a main series Crimson than the wacky otherworldly attacks that the Conquest War form of Fatalis would add to his arsenal. Some of these attacks should definitely stay, as should this
arena, that would be awesome.
1000% this unholy theme music.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. It's not fearful music as in you must be horrified of this thing and it feels wrong. No. It's music that's like, holy fuck, look at what we're fighting. And in a way, obviously, it's not just a good fight, it's almost unfair, and that's what makes it scary. This is really good music. You're fighting what is essentially a fire god. That's insane. Oh my god. It's just straight inferno, bro. But they actually won. Oh my god.
His is one of the most just evil musical themes that Monster Hunter has to offer, and it is dripping with fear and malice and hatred and doom. Toss out the Crimson Fatalis theme from 4 Ultimate. It ain't got on this. And lastly, White Fatalis.
Holy, oh wow. Oh, you're weird. What a piercing looking horn.
He and the Hunter's Road were introduced to the 10th year anniversary, alongside Erizerion. He was granted powers equivalent to a Zenith level monster and is adorned in blue spikes and horns, only to turn crimson when he enters his full powered state. To put things into perspective, he can kill you by landing. His footfalls...
Are you fucking kidding me? There's heavier monsters, mind you.
Create full arena Zenith tremors. He can casually send orbs of dragon lightning hurtling down to Earth in huge numbers.
Of course he can.
And this is before he gets angry. His enraged state occurs when he strikes himself with a dozen bolts of crimson lightning and turns his spikes bright scarlet. His roar does damage over time if you're anywhere close to him. He fires off sweeping lasers of lightning, and he can blanket huge quantities of the arena with god-level electrical strikes. Once again, I could absolutely see some of these attacks making their way into a mainline White Fatalis. And in comparison to Crimson Fatalis' dark and brooding theme, his is operatic and godly, whilst keeping the air of dread. These guys are insane. Each fight looks so much fun and like such incredible challenges. I would love to see most of the main games take some inspirations from the movesets and especially the music of these three. 13.
I thought he got struck.
Fatalis. He's already in the main series, but you gotta pay your dues to the god of monsters.
Yep. Oh my god, look at that coloration. Oh my god. That looks like it hurt. You good, bro? Holy shit, he's barely at... Okay. Oh! I'm assuming this is the end. Oh, yes. Can't wait. My poor ears. I mean, oh my god, this is such an awesome look back, but can we skip forward? My ears. Please. This is just a recap of all the monsters, bro, for 2 minutes. Outro. Oh my god, yes, there you go.
Of its fantastic creations. And
what?
Are
Okay, we were close anyway.
And that is actually, genuinely, for real, all of it.
Great.
We are done. Frontier has
fucking
been
awesome,
conquered. Holy mother of all that is good, this
Dude,
was up.
This video was absolutely insane to watch.
Project and a half. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on this trek through the wildest
It's amazing, bro.
game of all time, exploring each and every one of its fantastic creations. And now that I've watched each fight and observed each beast and read each wiki page and poured through Ban Lagarcus' Twitters for hours, I can safely say that Monster Hunter Frontier was and is a wonderful game. I don't even have to have played it. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a couple of ugly designs here and there.
Sure.
Yes, there's a few oppressively...
You can't really expect like insane perfection from a game such as this.
The AoE heavy fights. Yes, there's 12 years worth of insane MMO grinding that looks so insurmountable to get through. Honestly, those are only small parts of Frontier. This game absolutely is a Monster Hunter game. Its creatures are well thought out and well put together and have cool biologies and ecologies and special abilities and unique mechanics, and I only really just talked about the monsters in these videos. The game itself looks incredible, rough patches and all. I don't have the rig for it yet, but someday I'm gonna play it. God bless the people who have salvaged the game servers, because my number one takeaway from this is that Frontier deserves to be preserved. Preserved by fans.
I hope you get to play it soon, man. You'll get there when you get there, and I hope you really do.
Preserved by videos like this, and hopefully preserved by Capcom. I hope to God that the response to Espinas and Sunbreak sent a message to Capcom that the community wants Frontier to live. And the rough edges and odd biologies and janky mechanics
we don't care, bro. We want it.
Can be fixed. But what is here is good. Great even. I am a fan and convert, and one day I will get my hands on this game. Subscribe to the second channel for when I post gameplay of it. Probably not going to be anytime soon, but it's going to happen. The time investment for you.
I hope.
Shout out to all the patrons, and special shout out to Nihilist Chimerax and Silky Dino. Thanks, guys.
Oh, guys, please, when you get the chance, please support this guy. Look at this. This video, oh my god, I'm so glad it's at like 200,000. It's utterly amazing. I'm sorry, it really is. And even me sitting here just as a reactor, right? And please do subscribe this video to quiet the effort. Not effort as in like, oh, I gotta do all this. No, it's not as much. I'm not saying it's as hard as like whatever CR-Volcanic just made. It's amazing. But like, I'm talking about attention span. But I had to keep my thing locked. But anyhow, subscribe to me if you want to support me, and please, I do want to notify you guys when videos come out, because a lot of you guys seem to have like positive comments to tell me when, like, oh my god, like, holy shit, Ephemeral just posted. I'm like, that's really sweet. That's really heartwarming. And other than the fact I obviously want you guys' support. I mean, come on, it's of all things, it's YouTube. You get the game, you get how it works. But at the same time, I want to actually have you guys notified, and where you're not just stumbling onto my videos, but you're actively like receiving them. And hey, always up to you if you want to unsub later or not, and it's also up to you if you want to watch whatever video I'm doing next or not. Hey, again, completely in your hands. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been an amazing video to watch. Please go check out CR-Volcanic as well. Make some amazing videos, right? Highly underrated creator. And if you're watching one of his videos, please go give the guy a subscription, bro. Even if I just don't have my notifications on him turned on, because, well, most of the time I probably don't watch his stuff unless it's requested. Even then, man, when I watch some of his stuff that isn't requested, nonetheless, it's really fucking good. So please, when you're watching a video by CR-Volcanic, by any chance, go ahead, drop him a sub. He's really underrated. Like, come on. Oh my god, I'm glad he's at 18k subs right now, but please, guys, go on and support him. He's an incredible creator, and this video, again, with all my other reaction videos, would not be possible if I didn't have, said video to react to. So, thank you, CR-Volcanic. It's a really good video, and man, it's outstanding as well. I gotta say, it's straight up outstanding what you're doing. Thank you, bro. And these also, these must be a pain to render. I will render this as well. I really wanted to plan this as a sort of like, oh, I'm gonna post this early, guys, because I'm a late video. But like, dude, we've been at it for like 3 hours. We've been here for 3 hours, bro. So I don't know when you'll get this. You'll get it when you get it. I'll start editing like after I stop the video. But to be honest with you, I need to eat and shower first, bro. I just woke up. And then whatever. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Ephemerals. As usual, please take care of yourselves, alright, guys? I have not been taking good care of my sleep schedule, but nonetheless, thank you for all of your support and your patience when I usually have delays. So thank you. I really do wholeheartedly appreciate it. It's not an easy thing to come by with, like, with such patient people waiting for my uploads of all things, man. It's really cool. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Hopefully we can go to the bar soon. That would be really cool.